Cancel culture is about canceling.
Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
Systematic bullying that's happening.
And they believe that they
Cocaína.
But it's the wax that the Terminator X spun. Now they got me in a cell cause my records they sell. Cause a brother like me said, well,
it's one like this, immaculate conception. I transform like this, perform like this, which yells you a new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate, then off your head. This that puts against the bed, this that I got realness, I just push, cause it's in my DNA. I got millions, I got riches building in my DNA. I got junk, I got evil that rot inside my DNA. I got off, I got trouble, some heart inside my DNA.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stop Ben Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stop Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like
We'll see who cancels who. They want you to comply.
Hey, yo.
Hey. Three slivers of people.
Yes, we should change it to the box. There we go.
The Leftist 3.
Much better.
Yeah. What's up with that?
So Matt we'll get into more detail later, but Matt is no longer part of the Leftist Mafia.
It's about time. Oh man, we've been trying to kick him out.
Keep a straight face here.
We found out that he had a tattoo that is of I don't know if I want to, it's a tattoo that's unsavory, we'll say, and we just couldn't associate with it, so we
he thought it stood for Super Slurpees, right? But it was something else.
Yes. So we had to give him the Illuminati treatment.
Yep. I mean, hey, come on, dude. We have standards here, all right?
Oh no, he's back.
Matt, we said that you couldn't join because of your tattoo, and we kicked you off the show. Did you get it removed?
Yeah, what are you doing here?
Oh, yeah. I had a big old tattoo that said Nazi. I don't know.
Yeah, there's just no sugarcoat in that one.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what it was when I got it.
Just Hitler's big face.
Yeah.
trying to hit their face on your chest.
No, I'm glad we're going to talk about this. Sure, we can talk about it. Let's talk about
we were just being silly.
We just started, but yeah, we'll talk about it. We can talk about it.
All right, yeah, but we might as well talk about it. So who wants?
There's apparently a debate that's going to be going on according to Mike's titles.
I just wanted to draw in some additional eyeballs. I'm sure it's going to get very
there was
heated.
Two big videos that came out. One by a channel called The Rational National, and then one that came out by the Humanist Report. And I noticed they were a little opposed in their views. So I thought today would be nice and spicy.
Another.
I like Mike's video was good. I enjoyed it.
David, your video was good as well, David. One thing that I will say.
Where's the blood? What is this?
Yeah, David, your video was fucking trash. I hated it. No, one thing that I'll say on a serious note is I really appreciate that our audiences are like super nuanced and they're willing to allow us to kind of play around in like the gray area and the muddy area and the unclear things, because I feel like a lot of people in this space, they're really pressured to come down hard in a certain way and defend that point vociferously. But like, if you watch mine, there are people that were like, they didn't even know what my position was because I didn't reveal it until the end, and they thought that I took the opposite position. And it's because I tried to like be as fair and neutral as I possibly could, so that way when the hammer drops, you're not gonna be like, oh, this fucking purity testing piece of shit.
I had people attacking me, and like I thought my video was pretty clear. I had people attacking me for not defending, or for like, Yeah, for like not defending it, or like I was just like, did you watch the fucking video? Like I'm just because I had mentioned, if a better candidate shows up who didn't have a Nazi tattoo and who grabs, more attention than Plattner does, then like, that person, that apparently was like capitulate. Like people are just insane. So people are gonna be happy, no matter what you say, they're not gonna be happy. So
yeah, but for the most part, though, I think that the response has been very nice to see. I mean, a lot of people vehemently disagreed with me in my comment sections, for sure. But I feel like, I don't know, if this was like Jimmy Dore's audience, they'd be like shitting their pants. So it's nice that we have adult, smart audiences who are like, you know what? I don't agree with your position, but I do understand where you're coming from, and you explained it really well. Like, I honestly fuck with that hard. It makes me feel more sane.
Oh, you froze.
No, he's not saying at all. He's
frozen, right? It's not just me.
I froze. Can you hear me?
There you are.
Oh, you're back. Yeah, you're back now.
Okay, sorry about that. I don't know where I was, but yeah, that's my point. Frozen and all.
I mean, I haven't said anything about it yet, actually.
Okay, I'm gonna hear Binder's take.
But you're on David's side because you're on Majority Report, so we have 2 versus 2.
Sam had his annual torts conference in Vegas today, so I was not on the show today. So I haven't even talked about it on the Majority Report yet.
All right, let's go.
Oh,
yeah, I was in the boat of sometimes you could just not say anything and see what comes out, because you don't need to say something. You don't need to jump to conclusion until you find out more information. And I thought this was very much a situation where I needed to hear more. I don't know if there's more coming out, but from what is out there now, my thoughts are as follows. I think I think he got the tattoo. Like he said, and I believe him when he says he didn't know what it meant when he got it. I don't believe him when he says that he didn't know what it meant till recently. I think he probably found out, I don't know when, but a significant time period before this. And why he didn't get it removed, I don't know, because looking at his history of comments made before he was even a public figure, there's nothing that I see that has him espousing white supremacist or neo-Nazi views. With that said, there's the issue of his his background with Blackwater and the military. Not so much that he took part in that. I know a lot of people join the military and do things like that, but that he left and then went back years later via Blackwater.
Duty.
Yeah. But then that being said too, this was also a number of years ago and people do change. I will say that I did see there was a Reddit post from him that was found by, I forgot who posted it, where he credited Michael Brooks with the direction he went in. He said that in 2020, apparently. So that is a I don't want anyone to think I'm like what's the word I'm looking for? Tainted now because he credited Michael. But I think the whole idea of, you guys know that I covered right-wing reactionary groups, white supremacists, neo-Nazis, things like that, as like that was my beat for a long, long time. And part of covering that to me was always, obviously there are people who are true believers and feel that way, but there are a lot of people who are led astray, easily malleable minds that are led astray. And, I don't know if he went down that direction, but maybe he could have. And that's why he was, crediting Michael with him going the other way. And people should be given that chance, regardless of how deep they were and whatever it was, to change. This isn't. I see a lot of people comparing this to Fetterman, and I don't think this is a Fetterman situation. I think this guy. I think Plattner really. What you're seeing now is him. Mistakes and all. I don't think this is some secret undercover right winger. I don't think he harbors. He's suddenly going to come out and be Israel's favorite little warrior in Congress. I don't think. I think this is not a Fetterman situation. I mean, the Fetterman situation is like literally the dude got brain damage and and something within came to the surface or something like that. I don't think this is the equivalent at all. I think the scenario is either you had a guy who wasn't very well educated or thought out in this realm, who got more and more into politics as time went on, or you have someone who was flirting with right-wing politics and came out the other side. With that being said, I certainly understand people who wouldn't want to vote for him. That's on him to try to convince those people that what I'm convinced of. That's not their prerogative that's on him. The onus is on him to do that. So yeah, I mean, listen, if someone came along who is better than him, or at the very least espousing the same politics and ideology as him, then you should give that person a look. But that person has not shown up. He seems to be the best person in the race. And that's that. I've seen also people concerned about how the right wing could use his tattoo. I mean, they call anyone who says free Palestine a Nazi. I mean, they really don't need the fucking tattoo to sort of yeah.
I also don't think it's like so far the one poll that we saw that came out today, he's ahead by over 30 points against the governor of Maine. That is insane numbers. Now that was before the tattoo stuff came out, but this is during the Reddit post, right? Like, so we'll see how voters in Maine react to that. But I think it's important to be skeptical of people, of course. I also think it's important to be open to people changing and considering what he has been doing, what he's done, this post that you found about Michael Brooks, or even past posts, for him to be both a communist Antifa soldier and also a Nazi at the same time, like, it's just ridiculous. Like,
with all that said, I also don't agree with the people who are completely downplaying it. I mean, I think it is at the very least, and to me this is the most glaring thing, an extreme lack of bad judgment that you would run for office, this high of an office especially, and not think that fucking tattoo on your chest would somehow come up and be an issue. I mean, even if you never felt like you needed to remove it before because it was just a stupid tattoo and you don't actually feel that way and you were young and dumb or whatever it was you were, even if you didn't feel like you needed to remove it to like prove anything to yourself, you need to be aware of how that stuff's going to come back and bite you in a campaign, a congressional campaign of this stature. It was going to come out without a doubt.
Yeah. And like,
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, incredibly bad lack of bad judgment to not do something before running. Because at the very least, it would have come out and you could have, at the very get-go, just pulled down your shirt and been like, well, this is covered. I made a mistake and I fixed it. But then they would have a lot less than if you fixed it like you did now during the middle of the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I almost feel like if he was aware of it, prior to past week when he was hearing the media talk about this, or I guess, behind the scenes, he was getting asked about it. If he was aware of it, it's almost like, I almost feel like maybe he didn't expect to be so successful in this race. Like, again, He thought it was a dumb tattoo, whatever. He doesn't believe that. Doesn't need to cover it up because he doesn't care. And then he kind of like was in the middle of this race that all of a sudden he was doing very well in. And now if he went out to get it covered, it would be a story because someone would find out that he went to cover this tattoo. Like, so maybe he just thought, I'm just gonna keep going with this thing.
I mean,
And
I don't know.
just hoping
Have
it
down
would
and
make
make
a story.
It's so stupid to keep talking about this, but he could have just got it blacked out. Like you didn't even need to go somewhere to get like a famous, like a fancy artist or anything.
Yeah.
Just fucking get rid of it. I mean, again, I'm not saying I see people being like, oh, Matt's saying he thought it was a cool tattoo. No, I'm not even saying that. I mean, I will say that the skull and crossbones, that specific one, it's people liken it to a swastika, but it's not as well known. It's just not.
It's without question the top 3 worst tattoos you could have on your body in terms of white supremacist symbols. It's a swastika. It's the SS.
But people have this idea that everyone knows what that is. I had never in my life seen it. Other people that I thought would know more than me, like Emma Vigeland, Sam Cedar, Kyle Clancy, they had never seen it before. Like,
I don't know. I don't like. I knew what that.
I had never seen it before. My life.
I will say that's
Lance
probably
is kind of
the
cutting
most...
out. It's hard to hear.
Oh.
Yeah, your voice cuts
Lance,
out.
I think you're a little bit loud. I think you're peaking and you're like cutting out when you hit certain like levels. But I will say that one is probably the one I've seen the most out there in terms of like tattoo designs and things offered out there without people knowing. But it's also not like if you were someone not into politics at all, I would believe you didn't know what it was. You posting in 2020 about, being a communist and listening to Michael Brooks. I don't believe in 2020 you didn't know what it was. That's where I'm at.
Especially if you're that's likely,
Yeah.
It's
like
in Fallujah, and that's what the tattoo is supposed to represent. Like, I'm sorry, but
that for me is kind of the biggest sticking point with the tattoo, because I can believe that he wasn't aware of it. But the problem is that in the video that he posted after he got it covered up, the explanation for like why he got the tattoo was honestly insane. And I'm surprised not more people are talking about that. He said that like, I got it with my military buddies in Croatia.
No, that's the most believable part. That's
no. But he said, and we got it because we wanted something to represent our time in Fallujah. For those who don't know, Fallujah was one of the most like bloodiest places in Iraq throughout the whole war. So like if you go in there and you're like, I want a tattoo to commemorate my time there, give me the skull and crossbones. Like that's extremely morbid, Nazism aside, right? Like if you're in a country and this country was invaded and you're part of the imperialist machine, and to remind you of your time there, you get a skull and crossbones to symbolize death at a minimum, putting aside Nazism. I feel like that is kind of crazy. And the problem is like not that where he is now. Like, because like we can agree now, he's probably not a fucking Nazi right now, a secret Nazi. But like the fact that today he looks back at that moment and describes it in that way speaks to the judgment that I have an issue with. That leads me to believe that like if he were in Congress, maybe he'd be better than Janet Mills. I'm sure he'd definitely be better than Janet Mills. But like on foreign policy issues, like, aside from Palestine, would you be good on them? Would you be bad on them? Because when you look at his platform has elements that are a little bit like pro-imperialist, right? Like he wants to take away or reorganize defense spending to put it into shipbuilding. So what? So we can do a pissing contest with China. He talked about addressing the recruitment crisis in the military, which doesn't make sense because if you were supposedly disillusioned with your time in the military because of the way that they mistreat veterans and chews people up and spits them out, then why would you think it's a crisis if other people don't want to go through what you went through as well? So there's a lot like in his current platform, like rebuilding the military, which is one of the things he says that just doesn't make sense to me. And so like I don't necessarily get Fetterman vibes because he'd have to get brain damage to be a Fetterman. But to me, I'm not saying again, I'm purity testing him. He doesn't pass my purity test. My fear is that like if he gets in office, he could be like an Obama who was anti-war in specific areas. I wouldn't have invaded Iraq, but he was very militaristic. A Tulsi Gabbard who was like, I'm anti-war. I'm the anti-war candidate. But then like she's okay with like certain drone wars. Maybe because he's like anti-genocide, which is good, by the way. Obviously, Janet Mills is not, and that needs to be pointed out. But like him being okay on one issue, foreign policy, doesn't convince me that like he's fully anti-imperialist. And it's possible that he's not like, he doesn't describe himself that way. You know, he's just anti-war in a more generic populist sense. But to me, I would feel better if there was some more like, I don't know, ideological principles there, because it seems very inconsistent in a way that worries me. Like, okay, if we had a vote to fucking invade Iran, what would he do? Like, would he justify it because of that mentality that I see that is still there? The way that he describes his military time as well, he's always very cagey about it, doesn't really talk about it. And it's not like, and I want to be very clear, because people accuse me of like attacking vets in my video. I'm not trying to attack vets. I've brought on vets who ran for Congress. I brought on Isaiah James like 4 times when he was running for Congress. He's a vet. I think that vets, you know, they can be some of the best people to articulate what's wrong with U.S. imperialism. To me, it's like, it's the fact that like he kept going back for more even after he explained that he was disillusioned, and then he went to go work for Blackwater. And it's like, okay, if you say it's bad, then why was your actions antithetical to that? So to me, it's like, it's just not adding up. And I understand that there's a lot of like green flags where it's like, okay, cool. Some of his Reddit posts were really base. I like that he called himself a communist, but there's also a lot of red flags. And for me, it's just like a balancing act. Like there's enough there where I'm just like,
the rape apologia, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm sketched out, and like just my own personal position. I don't live in Maine, so I can't vote for him. But just like my own personal position is like, I don't want to end up like promoting this dude again, and then 3 years down the line, he turns out to be a fucking fraud, and then it's like, oh well, Mike, you told us to vote for this person, and I've done it so many times now. I've fallen for it so many times.
For me,
that
it's
it just
about,
like worries me, you know.
For me, it's about like expectations. Like I think I had done maybe like one or two videos on him before. Like I was never looking at this guy as like the next Bernie Sanders or something. And even like every senator, no matter who the politician is, like if he gets elected, we are going to have issues with him on something, like we have with Bernie, like we have with anybody, because they're a politician. They're going to triangulate at some point. They're going to make a bad vote. Like that's the reality of being a politician, at least the way things currently operate. So I was never talking this guy up as like the next big thing. Like to me, it was just like, this is a primary race, and you have Janet Mills, who's defending a genocide, who's defending ICE, like, and you have this other guy. Like, I go with the other guy. Like, that's kind of how I'm looking at it. Is like Kamala Harris when she was running. Is she a great candidate? No, there's tons of red flags with Kamala Harris, but it was her or Donald Trump. I told people they should probably vote for Kamala Harris. Like to me, this is just like the choices in the race. You have this guy who I think would be a much better leader, a much better senator than Janet Mills, and that's kind of what it comes down to for me. Like, I'm not going to be, I was never on like the big Graham Plattner train, but it's just like this is a race that's being highlighted because this is a very unique candidate in a space where we normally see like these, you know, Harvard law grads, and that's why he's interesting and different for a variety of reasons. But that's why it's interesting to me. Like it's about the race. It isn't about like him specifically.
He's also raising a lot of money and pulling out large crowds. It is not easy to do that. I think people are downplaying, you know, the idea of someone else just jumping in the race. I mean, that'd be great if someone could do that and gain that same sort of momentum. And, you know, then you could actually have a choice of someone with good politics and choose out of which those two better represent you. But we don't have that. He seems to be he's the guy. And you know, you got to make that same choice that you make with every election if you're a Maine voter. Yeah, I mean, this is what it is.
Is my mic still shitty? Is it still
popping? Okay.
It's better now.
Yeah, it's not clipping right now. It sounds pretty good.
Yeah, to your point, Binder. I don't think is anyone here. No, none of us are from Maine. Yeah, I think it's like a year out, right? You're still in the primary, and
June is the so the deadline to enter. I think is like, if it didn't already pass, I think it's like early next month or something. But June is the actual primary.
Like, yeah, when it comes down to the actual election, I'm obviously not ever going to be a spoiler. I'm not going to be like, you should vote for the centrist liberal pro APAC candidate, right? I'm just saying this is a thing that just happened now. So I think it's totally healthy for us to talk about it now. And I think in large part, the way that people respond to this also has greater implications. If you are either a politician or someone who's an activist in some corner, or you're someone who, like us, has a platform, right? It does send a message in what terms of, like, you know, the level of stuff that you're willing to normalize. So, you know, on one end, I'm completely 100%. When it comes down to it, if it's him, and it's two choices, and he's the the anti-imperial, anti-Israel candidate, I hope he beats someone, gets into the Senate, and starts to try work towards dismantling the military-industrial complex. Even though Mike has kind of pointed out that might not be the core of his platform. But for right now, I mean, I think it can also be very alienating on a broader level to have people trying to either downplay some of the things that have happened, or try to act as if like other people's concerns aren't valid. Like I think there's a large reason why there wasn't an enormous amount of people of color on the left who were coming forward to defend a lot of the stuff that they saw, because I think a lot of it is pretty reprehensible, right? And there's that aspect of it where it's like, I don't point out people's like fucked up shit or racism or homophobia or transphobia because I want a gotcha or I want a purity test. I do that because I think it's in their best interest to change. And so there's a handful of things with him where he is setting a good example. He's come forward and been like, that was really fucked up for me to use the F slur. That was bad for me to have done that anti-black racism. I should have done that. It was wrong for me to do like rape apologia for the women in the military who were coming forward with the stories. That's good. That is not the part that I have a problem with, right? I think there's that other aspect where people are just kind of willing to be like, you can't overlook a military record where someone has returned 3 times, right? Like he served his tour of duty. He chose to go back twice to Iraq in a combat role as a machine gunner, to be completely clear, and then to Afghanistan after that. And then after that, sign up for Blackwater. I think it's perfectly valid for anyone to see that record and be like, there's a lot of potential war crimes. Those are very serious U.S. military occupations that were involved in a variety of horrifying war crimes. I think it's healthy to talk about that and understand there's going to be a lot of people on the left who also hear it and are like, I don't feel comfortable with that. I can't see that as a guy.
He should talk about it. He should be open about it.
Yeah.
Like honestly, when I saw the tattoo stuff come out, my very first thought was, how does he not run on the fact that he was someone who was drifting towards the far right or was in the far right and like changed over the years? Like that's a great story. Like that's the story of someone you want to vote for. It turns out that might not be the case in terms of like he may have not even been there. He just got the stupid tattoo and then didn't do anything about it. But I actually think that's something that's commendable. That's the whole point of like fighting back against that stuff, for people to see that there are xenophobic ways and racist ways are wrong, and that they're being used, and that they're being pointed towards a scapegoat that they have more in common with than the people who are using them. I think that's a good story. I mean, there's literally organizations that have been founded on the basis of saving people from cults of hate. And those people who run those organizations are often people who went down that road themselves. I mean, a lot of the centrists who are attacking Plattner, and I think they're obviously within their right to criticize him, but the ones who are giving him no space to make amends or to explain or to fix things. Joe Biden was friends with a former Democratic politician, Robert Byrd, who was a former Ku Klux Klan member.
These same centrists like Cuomo.
Yeah, I mean, people.
David
change.
Frum was criticizing him. Like, you're the fucking asshole that had him go to war. Like, you're the reason why he was in a war. Like, it is the shit people like criticism from the left is understandable. Skepticism, get 100%. It's the fucking like people like Olivia Giuliani, who's the fakest person in the world. People like David Frum, these hacks that are trying to like score points when they themselves are so full of shit. It's just
they were all for the genocide of Palestinians, and then now suddenly they care about like
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, to me it just feels like I want to see this as like the success story where it's like, okay, he went through this dark time and he came out, but it's like there's a whole story and there's like a big piece that's missing. And I guess like I think that it would do wonders if he really talked in depth about this and kind of like explain the military service and why he went back and you know how that played a role in his current radicalization, if that's what indeed radicalized him. Because like when you really look at the totality of things, you get a sense that yeah, you know, he came back disillusioned with the military and he wants to change it now. But then you see, well, no, actually, I'm proud of my military service that I'm gonna rebuild the system and stuff like that. And like, I guess I don't know. I just don't understand. I feel like, you know, do you? I want to know that you view the Iraqis the same way as you view the Palestinians. You know, that's why you're opposed to genocide. Like that all lives are equally important, that all imperialism is bad. And I like it bugs me about the accusation about purity testing because like I mean we all purity test, we all have standards to some extent. I'm purity testing every Democrat that takes APAC money. I mean if somebody was like yeah, if somebody was like, look, I'm a former IDF soldier, but I support Medicare for all, and there was a corporate Democrat, like, what would you do? It's a complicated situation, right? If somebody's like 20 years from now,
that's a bit.
well, listen, 20 years from now, can you not imagine a Democrat being like, I used to be a former ICE agent and I took out the trash and I'm taking out the trash in DC and we're getting Medicare for all. We're getting free college. Like, can you not see that? So I just feel like
former IDF soldier. Would you forgive everything if it was a former IDF soldier?
Well, it also depends. I mean, if you're someone in Israel, you likely at some point were an IDF soldier. But the point that what would matter is what did you do as an IDF soldier?
What did you do?
And also what is your current position after going through this all and knowing what's going on and seeing it yourself? What is your current position on what's going on over there? Because, you know, there's people who probably did do their mandatory service, did not take part, you know, in boots on the ground or whatever, and came out saying what's going on is fucked up and I don't agree with it. And I'm not a Zionist or whatever. I mean, there are people.
I know somebody who's Israeli that used to be a paper pusher. She was a secretary, and then she decided to go on a raid to Ramallah on her own volition. She didn't have to do that and commit that war crime. I'm not going to say her name. She's a friend of mine. But like, yeah, it's like if you were a paper pusher, that's different than like, no, I actually did the war crimes. Like, I think that these are things that do have to be delineated that we don't really, like, we don't know. Like, again, like, Graham is super cagey about his time there, and he says like I was a machine gunner, an infantryman. It's like, okay, we're like, were you gunning down? Because like in Iraq, they were gunning down like civilian vehicles. Like, were you part of that, or were you
doors holding the gun to mothers' faces as they took their kids from their arms? What like were you witnessing war crimes? Were you enabling them? Were you simply like? It's very hard to be pure defensive capabilities if you're a machine gunner, right?
Right.
But.
And you could be like Mike Preisner, where he's like, look, we tortured people. That was disgusting. And he's one of the loudest anti-war, anti-imperialist voices. It's not saying that, oh my God, no, you're irredeemable forever. It's just like, I want to know what you did and how that affected you and whether or not that is what is the catalyst for your radicalization. Because if you were just like, no, I was gunning down people and I'm proud of my military service, it's like, well, should you be proud of that? Like, that doesn't seem like something to be proud of, right? Or did you not kill anybody? Were you just there and you were like, hey, I'm the bag boy who's bringing the fucking bags of like, these are things that I think really do matter, and we're not getting an answer. And the fact that he worked for Blackwater adds more pause. And it's not like, I'm not saying no, cancel him. I'm just saying like, maybe give us a little bit more details, because I feel like to me that's important. Like, lives that were lost in the Rock.
I was sending people to the hospital, but I don't think they should have to pay for the bill when I send them there. That's that's the position. No, I mean, we don't know. I think there's more. That's why I really haven't said anything about it, because you know, we're on this show. It's a live stream. You know, it's more of just a conversation than like me giving you my expertise, and that's because I don't think there is anyone who's an expert here on this yet, because we just don't know enough, and that's why he needs to talk more about it. He needs to talk more about every single facet. He needs to give everyone the history of who he is, what he's done, what he thinks about what he's done now. And then it's up to people to decide whether he's redeemable. And if no one comes along who's better, then, you know, he might be the guy. It's pretty simple in terms of like an election when it comes down to that. I just don't the comparison to Fetterman is ridiculous because Fetterman never gave us anything to show that he was. I know people bring up that, when he was the mayor of Braddock or whatever, he pulled out a shotgun on this black jogger who,
which we should have overlooked.
that's obviously very messed up, but that doesn't give us enough, if you ask me, because there's no ideology, like everything everything he did politically, nothing, his positions, his history.
He had he did one interview before his election, when he was asked about Israel, and I remember it was a bad answer. I forget what it was specifically, but it was a bad answer. And this is pre-October 7th, but we were still obviously aware of apartheid and everything. But I think a lot of us chalked it up to the vast majority of Democrats just are not good on this issue. And this is one that we're willing to overlook because he's not Dr. Oz, you know what I mean? So it was kind of that was the position. And then
might be better in retrospect.
What?
Who might be better in retrospect, Dr. Oz, unironically.
I don't think so. Not because of the comparison, but because Fetterman now, he's losing funding. Fetterman might actually lose his next primary race because there are a lot of people that voted for him that are they're pissed off. And if he can't get Democratic voters out for him, then it's very possible he loses the race in a primary, loses it anyway.
He's done.
We'll see where it goes, but.
The scenario I'm concerned about is him not running as a Democrat because he knows it's not going to happen. That's the scenario I'm concerned about. But he's done. He's done. If he actually takes part in a Democratic primary, it's over for him. He's done. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, we keep talking about not just we on the show, the broader sense. People left of center who talk about politics keep talking about the Democratic base as if it's the Democratic base from just a few years ago or 10 years ago or whatever. The most radical people right now are the Democratic base in terms of how angry and upset they are. They're the ones on camera doing gun motions with their hand to their neck to simulate Charlie Kirk. They're the people.
That was a teacher, wasn't it?
They're the people out there openly saying whatever and getting fired and not giving a shit. I mean,
she was a teacher or a nurse, but it's normies now are just done.
They're mad. They're upset, and rightfully so. I think maybe on the left we're being a little bit more cautious in terms of how things reflect because we're now finally gaining some power in electoral politics. So we're trying not to ruin it by doing something stupid. But I think the Democratic base is completely different now. They're radicalized. And I mean, you see it in that poll for Plattner. People got behind him, and they're seeing
why his message was the important part of the story, right? If you take all the other stuff out, all the stuff that clearly we all have issues with, right? His message is really resonating with people, just like Zoran Mamdani's message really resonated with people, which means that is a winning thing going forward. Start talking about going after corporations, going after the billionaires, getting money back, taking money out of the military. That is honestly the pathway forward, and get more radical.
1000%.
There should be all of these primaries. There should be candidates. And whatever groups are out there, progressive groups that can help back them and get the word out of whoever these people are. But there is huge potential there to really completely transform the party if there's enough of a investment into these sorts of insurgent candidates that can take out these sitting Democrats.
We need a new Justice Democrats. I mean, Justice Democrats still exists, but they've scaled back. Clearly, they have one candidate that they're running. As
DSA took over. DSA took over. DSA is doing that work right now. Honestly,
DSA is doing great. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Mamdani is fantastic. We could all agree there. He's
a perfect candidate.
Yeah, I know.
So
it's very hard to find someone like that.
I just want to be his friend,
It's unfortunate he wasn't born in the U.S. because that's That's presidential material right there.
Well, the Constitution
good.
doesn't matter anymore, so I
That's
guess
true.
he could just run for president. Trump's going to run for a third term, according to.
Yeah,
I mean,
Steve
Ted
Bannon,
Cruz
so-
ran. He was born in Canada. Like, why can't Mamdani
I
run?
think he was born on a base though, so he was technically born in America.
Oh, is that why he was able to?
In Alberta? Yeah, he was born in Alberta, but he was born, I think, in a military base.
On the subject of Mamdani, did you guys want to see some of the debate from last night? Because once
Sure,
again,
let's do it.
Mamdani absolutely clapped Cuomo's cheeks, and one
I actually
portion
thought Mamdani was fairly safe last night because he didn't have to be. It was up to Cuomo and Sliwa to try to steal the show and make the viral moments. Mamdani just had to come off cool, calm, and collected, and I think he did. I think he did.
He did great. He did great. There's one scene or one clip in particular that I want to find that the campaign actually shared when he was calling out Cuomo for sexual harassment.
Are you going to play the AI video?
Say that again.
Are you going to play the AI video? The most insane political ad ever.
I still haven't watched that.
It's so bad
fucking
shit.
crazy.
Whatever you're thinking, David, it's worse. It's so much worse. There's a reason he deleted it after like 20 minutes. It's just like, oh my God.
Did you see the response to the AI video too, Lance?
Well, I've seen people like Tim Pool be like, this is the greatest political ad ever made. And I was like, of course you would say that.
Oh, no,
'cause
I mean
it's
by the
fucking racist
campaign.
as fuck. Oh, no, I haven't seen their response.
They're like, we weren't supposed to put that out. It wasn't done yet. just like
it wasn't done.
What do you mean it wasn't done? Like, what the fuck?
Is it Cuomo's ad or is it's Cuomo's ad you're talking
It's
about?
Cuomo's ad, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, this is the moment where he called him out for the sexual perversion and degeneracy.
Mr. Cuomo, in 2021, 13 different women who worked in your administration credibly accused you of sexual harassment. Since then, you have spent more than $20 million in taxpayer funds to defend yourself, all while describing these allegations as entirely political. You have even gone so far as to legally go after these women. One of those women, Charlotte Bennett, is here in the audience this evening. You sought to access her private gynecological records. She cannot speak up for herself because you lodged a defamation case against her. I, however, can speak. What do you say to the 13 women that you sexually harassed?
Wait for his response, though.
If you want to be in government, then you have to be serious and mature.
Yeah, so being serious and mature means you sexually harassed like all of your fucking staffers. Really?
Just to make it clear to people, it cuts off because he's saying that Mamdani is accusing him is saying he's doing it without basically putting alleged, because his claim is that they didn't go to court, the cases were dropped, so he didn't do it, or they were just allegations. That's his point in saying that.
Embarrassing.
Can you explain how he can legally silence one of the victims? Like, how does that work?
I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. I have no idea, honestly. More likely maybe the case of she has to be careful in terms of like him doing a countersuit for smearing him or whatever. I don't know what the legal terminology would be, but
like
that's my non-lawyer guess, something like that. I have no idea, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess since it's over defamation, maybe it's just because it is because of that. Her lawyer would tell her not to say anything at all about Cuomo. Just as the case is going on. That's my guess.
Yeah. Fair enough. Really powerful woman. Well done.
Yeah, no, that was fantastic.
Okay, so happy you haven't seen that.
However, is the AI ad in question from the Cuomo team, which lasted 20 minutes, but it's on the internet, so it's forever.
Zohran Mamdani's opponents want you to believe he's an inexperienced radical whose policies will make New York City more dangerous. But what do his actual supporters think?
Mamdani isn't crazy. He's just trying to even the playing field.
Give everyone a fair shot. Sure, he said multiple times we need to defund the police, but that was just a metaphor.
And yes, he did say crime is a social construct.
But that was also a metaphor.
His main backer, the
Oh,
Democratic
Mike, it's really like
ideas
stuttering. Is it
are
stuttering for
common
all of you?
sense,
Yeah, it's a bit
such
choppy.
as
Decriminalizing
Is it?
misdemeanors.
Do you want me to play it?
Yeah, go ahead and
Yeah,
play
maybe
it.
you should play it. Yeah,
Because that's my internet then.
just so people get the idea.
Just
of
link it
what
to me in the
actually like.
private chat.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, my internet must be fucking up.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you noticed even in the first couple seconds, they're already going after him eating rice with his hands. You know,
That's,
Yeah,
like,
that-
Right.
That's
right.
the first thing I noticed. No one was mentioning it, so I had to point it
don't.
out.
oh, in
But
New
that's-
York, of all places, you know, the New York pizzas. Come on.
Listen, the whole video you'll see is very racist. But
Oh,
all
it's extremely
all-
racist. They ramp up.
but all the racism you see in the video are like common racist tropes and stereotypes.
Yes.
Except the thing of him eating with his hands. That's why that stuck out to me. It might not be the most racist part of it, but it's the only one of those things that I haven't seen anyone mention other than the most white supremacist neo-Nazis on Elon Musk's website. So the fact that that made it into that video means that there's at least someone in Cuomo's campaign who knows about that and said, that's the audience we want to court here.
Mm-hmm.
Zohran Mamdani's opponents want you to believe he's an inexperienced radical whose policies will make New York City more dangerous. But what do his actual supporters think?
Mamdani isn't crazy. He's just trying to even the playing field.
You know, give everyone a fair shot.
Sure, he said multiple times we need to defund the police, but that was just a metaphor.
And yes, he did say crime is a social construct. But that was also a metaphor.
His main backer, the Democratic Socialists' ideas are common sense, such as
Decriminalizing misdemeanors.
Like shoplifting.
What
Third-degree
the fuck?
assault.
It's fucking so
Trespassing. Prostitution.
What?
And drunk driving.
With plans to decriminalize all drugs, Mamdani will be a job creator.
What?
For drug dealers. Instead of helping us homeless get off the streets and into the mental health facilities we need, he wants to give us safe injection sites to do crack and let us sleep in subway carts. These are actual policies Mamdani and the DSA want to implement on day one. When a woman's being domestically abused, she finally won't have to deal with some pesky cop to arrest the abuser, but now a social worker to help, kumbaya the situation.
Breathe in. Breathe out.
Mamdani is finally lowering jail sentences. Guilty! But Mamdani says you're free to go. Who cares if legalizing prostitution statistically leads to an increase for sex trafficking of women and young girls by 70%?
Oh my
You can't
God.
have safety without equality.
for unlawful abiding citizens like us. Globalize the Intifada.
I'm a criminal. I'm a criminal. I'm a criminal.
I'm a criminal.
Yep. I'm a criminal.
For Zohran.
For Zohran Mamdani.
I didn't have a
What's
real
scary
job
music
until I
here,
was
though?
30, but sure, give me the keys to the city. What's the worst that can happen?
Paid for by Cuomo for NYC.
It is insane that this came out of Cuomo's campaign. Like, I can see like
Also-
this is like Donald Trump. This has to be their people made this, sent it to Cuomo. Like, this feels like a collaboration between those two. Because this is the Donald Trump AI shit. He's like, this is his thing.
He has Trump supporters working for him without a doubt.
This is
100%.
insane. Like, it's completely batshit insane.
Also, I want to say just from like a messaging standpoint, it's so off the rails because they try to fit in every attack they have on Mamdani in this one video. Like, it's so bizarre to have him unlock the prison door and as he's walking away saying, I haven't had a job since I was 30. It's like they're trying to get every single little thing in there. It is the most terribly run campaign I've ever seen in my life at every level.
So
it is so bad.
Cuomo's official account posted that? Like, who posted that?
Yeah,
They posted
they posted it on social media and then they deleted it, I think, 20 minutes after. Yeah.
That
once
is
the commentary poured in.
absolutely insane. Oh
And then
my
the
God.
see what-
response? So they said, this isn't Fox News, by the way, calling it controversial. But Cuomo campaign spokesperson Rich Azzopardi told the New York Times that the video was posted in error and wasn't done yet. So like they didn't mean to.
Wasn't
post
enough
the racist
racism
AI
in there.
yeah.
We didn't finish putting more racist stuff in there.
Yeah, when's the
Yeah,
second
and more
version of
racism.
that?
Yeah.
We forgot to throw in welfare queens, and we had to put in more of that. Yeah, we need more of that type of stuff.
We forgot to thicken his beard for the video.
Yeah.
No, but
thicken
did you
it,
see?
darken
Did you
it.
see? But did you see what Cuomo said today on WABC when he was on Curtis Sliwa's best friends? The 9/11 comment.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh yeah,
That- That is. Someone want to pull that one up? That one is. I have the
Is there
audio.
a video?
Hold on, there's
Is there audio
audio.
of it?
It's a radio show. I
Okay.
clipped it. I went and found the audio.
Oh
'cause
nice.
I wanted
Okay.
to hear it myself.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I just read it, but I didn't.
drop
I didn't
it
see
in.
the video.
I'll drop it in the private chat for someone
Maybe
to pull up.
maybe David, you could.
Yeah, I
pull
can
it
bring
up
him.
since my internet
Level
is-
of like post 9/11 racism is backfiring because like in the modern age, especially for younger voters, like they don't buy this shit anymore. They know that like every Muslim isn't a scary jihadist, and if someone goes to a mosque instead of a church by default, there's something bad. Like people grew up.
So this guy Sid on WABC is like Curtis Sliwa's best friend. They had a huge falling out the other day because even he's trying to get Curtis Sliwa to drop out. Curtis Sliwa apparently quit. So Curtis Sliwa actually has had until he started running for mayor, had a radio program on WABC with the assumption, I assume, that he's going to be back at work when he doesn't become mayor. But he on air quits and says he's never going to come back to the station because even his own buddies are trying to get him to drop out because these Trump supporters are backing Cuomo to beat Mamdani. And so Cuomo goes on his show, the Sid show, because even Cuomo knows who his audience is now. And this is what happens. This is truly disgusting.
I just want to say it's amazing to me that the one principled Republican happens to be in this race. Like I've never seen a Republican turn down money for anything. This guy is so fucking. I have like grown respect. I know very little about Sliwa. I'm sure he has terrible positions, has said terrible things, but like my respect just on his principles alone have grown because it is insane that he's stayed in this race.
He's an old school New Yorker type, so he's not gonna. He's enjoying being a New Yorker. He wants to actually.
Did you see the TMNT photos where it looks like he's in the Foot Clan? And I was like, I had no idea. I didn't know that's where he rolled.
Sid looks so wet though. What the fuck? He's moist as fuck.
Wet Sid and friends.
Any given morning, there's a crisis. And people's lives are at stake. God forbid another 9/11. Can you imagine Mamdani in the seat?
Yeah,
And there's
I could. He'd be cheering.
It's another problem. But can you imagine that?
No.
I mean,
Listen.
If Mamdani was in the seat on 9/11.
Yeah.
What would have happened in this seat?
Oh, come on.
Wow.
Could I just also point out the idea that last thing he says? If Mamdani was in the seat on it was mayor on 9/11, what would have happened to the city? The same thing that fucking happened. What does anyone think Mayor Giuliani did on 9/11 that changed anything? Nothing. Mayor Giuliani was running around downtown in the midst of things just so it looked like he was doing something. He didn't do shit. Nothing.
And also,
the mayor did
9/11
nothing.
bad. Like
The mayor
it was
did
already bad,
nothing on 9/11.
regardless of not having a Muslim in charge.
What would have happened if Mamdani, if anyone other than Giuliani was mayor on 9/11? What would have
Another
happened?
tower fell,
The
obviously.
same fucking thing that happened. Nothing would have been any different because the mayor didn't do shit in one way or another. What's the mayor gonna do? Hold up the building with his bare hands? What the fuck is he gonna do? You got to be kidding me.
Like I don't even know like what he's trying to say. Like to your point, I don't know what he means because they're not specific. Like what would have been different? Obviously, the one that the host is like just being outright racist about how he would cheer. But like, what is Cuomo trying to say? Because Cuomo, it sounds like he's trying to avoid that comment and just. Can you imagine? Okay, what? what are you imagining? Because I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I literally don't know what you are trying to say. This is the vagueness of these sorts of campaigns where they're just like vaguely attack their opponents, their left-wing opponents, because they don't have any actual criticisms of what they are saying and what they are fighting for.
But it goes to Binder's point, right? When he was talking about how that, you eat rice with your hands. That's something you only see from the far right on Twitter. It was the same thing. The far right on Twitter, right after the primary, were posting all of these images of 9/11 and being like, "This is what it's like for Jews in New York now," right? Like, just that narrative was coming from their camp, and it seems like Cuomo is flirting with that still, or trying to invoke it somehow.
Right. What does 9/11 have to do with this election at all? But other than it's for New York City mayor. There was no policy related to 9/11. Nothing having to do with like the 9/11 memorial. There's nothing about 9/11. The connection is simply Zohran Mamdani is Muslim, and that's what they're going with here. That's it. 9/11 has nothing to do with is not involved. It's not a topic of conversation here. Also, the idea that this is an ongoing thing too, that Hamas is Al Qaeda or something. So Zoran showing support for the people of Gaza means he has to support Hamas, which in turn means he has to support Al Qaeda and ISIS, because all Muslims are the same. That would mean all terrorists are the same. And I have no understanding of geopolitics or anything. I'm just a fucking idiot. That's literally what they're saying when they do this. They do this all the time. You saw this with a lot of pro-Israel people trying to tie Hamas to ISIS, not understanding anything about how different the two groups are. It's the same shit here. It's the same shit here.
He's asked to condemn it on like a daily basis. I've never seen anything like it, where like every interview he gives on a major network, it's just at some point he's going to be asked, like, have you condemned Hamas in this sentence? By the time I've finished speaking, are you going to? Well, then,
how long has it been since you condemned Hamas? It's been 4 hours.
Right? And then they complain that he talks too much about Israel. Like, what the fuck? Like, you're the one bringing this shit up. Right. He keeps trying to turn it back to affordability and people living in New York City.
He tries so hard to focus on issues and lowering the rent and affording food. And then every 2 seconds it's like, right, but do you believe that Israel's right to be a Jewish state? And if not, why? We need to know.
I will say this though, not to be like New York's the best, but it's the truth here. Most of the people of New York do not respond to this stuff in the way they think they will. And it's amazing that because a lot of these guys actually live in New York themselves, think that there is some sort of silent majority of New Yorkers who are eating up this fucking Islamophobic stuff. I'm sorry. Most people in this city might have completely different political ideologies and beliefs, but other than like the most hardcore Trump supporters, of which there's not all that many, they don't think that all Muslims are terrorists and Zohran Mamdani is a secret 9/11 hijacker. It's just not. In fact, it's working against them, if you ask me. People are going to see that shit and be like, this is disgusting. I'm going to support this guy because this shit's gross. That's not who we are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he also is being asked to condemn Hassan Piker, which is my favorite thing ever, as the commentator pointed out. I think that's hilarious.
I heard they have pamphlets out with Hassan on them now.
Do they really? Another scary Muslim. Oh my God. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. Speaking
it definitely it's without a doubt also mainly because of his name. If Hassan had the name like Mark Richardson or something, you think they'd be using him? No, it's because his name's fucking Hassan. Of course.
Yeah, the name Hassan attaches the brown hue to his skin. They see it. If he was Greg, he'd just be a regular ass fucking white dude. They're so transparent. But I was gonna say, speaking of liberal racism, I am gonna break your hearts and share this clip of Bernard Sanders on the Tim Dillon
Yeah, this
show.
is pretty bad.
I don't need to watch this again. This makes me sad.
Wait, what happened? What happened?
It's
I didn't see this.
It's a dumb
Just
comment.
go ahead and watch.
If you don't have any borders, then you don't have a nation, right? In a sense. So has historically the United States done well under Democrats and Republicans in protecting the border? The answer is no. Trump did a better job. I don't like Trump, but we should have a secure border. And it ain't that hard to do. Biden didn't do it. Those before him did not do it. We should have a secure border, period. If you don't have any...
That's an insane point to make.
I'm on the Tim Dillon show. I'm doing a bit, guys.
I got Bernie on my shelf. Where is it? And that's an insane point to make. That's an insane thing to say.
I got the
I don't know
figure.
what is
Action figure.
Or it's the Funko Pop. My bad. Yeah, I got the action figure too. I'm a sick fan. Okay.
The weird thing is, I saw a clip going around of him on the show, and it was a good clip. I didn't see this one. I don't know why he's doing that because he's been pretty great since Trump. Honestly, he's been out there being the number one. Him, AOC, a few others have been killing it on the resistance to Trump beat. I don't know why he's got to do that. Is it because he felt like he had to on the Tim Dillon show? That's bizarre. Because Mom Donnie went on Andrew Schultz's show, and Mom Donnie was great on there. You saw that clip? Those clips?
He crushed it. Yeah. I feel like, and for those who are not here, who are wondering why is that bad if you don't know, because it's bullshit that we have an open border and that Biden had an open border. Biden deported millions of people. And this whole open border narrative, this lie has been used as a justification to crack down on immigrants. And it's literally what Donald Trump has said verbatim. If we don't have a border, we don't have a country. And it's just straight up reactionary horse shit. We used to literally have an open border, which is why all of us are here. It's why my dumbass isn't in Portugal right now, because at some point my family decided to fucking swim across the ocean and jump the fucking border here. It's straight up xenophobic apologia that Bernie should absolutely not be engaging in, particularly on a right-wing podcast, especially because if you look at some of the comments on Twitter, they're calling him a cuck, saying, oh, but you're only saying this now. He's not winning over the right. He's not looking more reasonable to them. I don't think that's what he's trying to do. I think he's just speaking off the cuff. But Bernie, sometimes you have to shut the fuck up, man. And this is one of those moments. You very clearly don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And in the same way, he kept stepping on rakes when he talked about reparations and kept looking like a fucking idiot. He does the same thing on immigration from time to time. And it's so annoying because it's an unforced error. And if you really could grill him on this, I think that you can get him to come to the correct conclusion. It's just that he goes through, I don't know, his whole talking points. So whenever immigration comes up, this is in the rotation for some reason. But this is the worst iteration of his immigration talking.
I think he has certain blind spots where he has sort of these canned answers or these feelings of what he thinks the answer is. He's so good when it comes to cost of living and corporations and the wealth, where he has his specific things that he's good on. But he does his border is not something he's ever discussed. So it's only ever talks about what's brought up to him. So when he's forced to respond, he doesn't. I guess maybe he doesn't want to come off sound like someone who doesn't know what he's talking about. So he's just kind of going along with what it is. But I think he ultimately doesn't care. So he's just sort of giving the interviewer what they want to hear, as opposed to having an actual position, which is probably not the right thing for a senator to feel. Because I don't think, considering the stuff he's run on, stuff he's talked about, he doesn't care about the border at all. I don't think he really cares who is stronger at the border, because I don't think he has a position. But yeah, he has those blind spots where he needs to have. I don't know. Maybe at this point he figures, whatever, I'm not running again. He doesn't need to I don't know, have new talking points at this point because he's near the end of his career. He doesn't really care. But it would be nice for us not to have to hear him say ridiculous things like that.
Right. It just, it sucks. It's kind of on certain things, he is great. Medicare for all, best advocate for that in the country. If you ask him about Israel, Palestine, we struggle quite a bit. Although comparatively speaking, one of the best in the Senate, if not the best in the Senate. It sucks. I understand, again, not to be the purity tester, that like you're not going to have somebody agree with you on everything, but for something like this, like to say this on a right-wing podcast in this moment when Trump is, rounding up people and throwing them in fucking camps, he knows how dangerous that is. So I don't know why he would say this and validate Donald Trump's xenophobic narrative. It's really frustrating. Again, it's not like he's like this fucking deity who could never ever do wrong. I was never trying to like put that out there, but I mean, like, some mistakes are just like fucking so over the top that you gotta wonder, like, bro, are you getting dementia all of a sudden? What the fuck is this? Like, it'd be like if I came out and was like, actually, you know what, gay people should go to prison or some shit. Like, it just like, whoa, I'm getting whiplash. What the fuck? Not that this was that surprising, like, for him, because he's not been particularly strong on immigration, but just like when I saw this, I'm like, bro, I'm just gonna check out of politics. This shit is gonna blackpill the fuck out of me. I can't take it anymore. Like, just shut the fuck up, Bernie.
Someone said we should stop eating our own. Bernie's staying on the shelf, despite me not liking the comment.
Yeah.
It's totally normal and perfectly, I think we should be criticizing people that we generally agree with. It doesn't mean that that we're eating them or whatever.
Yeah, like I appreciate people being hypersensitive to criticism when, the alternative is fascism, but I mean, I'm never just not gonna have standards because fascists are bad. I'm always gonna be objective and critical, and I think that's what makes us great because we're not in a fucking cult where it's like, oh, I agree X, and somebody says Y. Okay, well now it's Y. That doesn't even make sense the way I'm explaining it, but like to explain it differently, like I'm not gonna change my position to adapt to like what somebody else says. I'm gonna have my position and just disagree and criticize them if I feel strongly. I just feel like I don't know. It's not like be sensitive to people who are overly critical and trying to wreck, but like you don't have to freak out at every little criticism of Bernie and AOC and whatnot. Because
I agree with matters we're saying you're only criticizing because he's old, though. That's where the hate stems from.
That's part of it, right?
Yeah.
That is part of it. Maybe if he was younger, I would be a little bit more charitable. But the oldness, I can't forget.
I would love to ask Bernie, does he think Trump is right to say that all this fentanyl is coming across the Canadian border? Like, is that they really need to strengthen the Canadian border? Because that's the bullshit, like, that Trump has been peddling, which it stems from nothing. We should actually be securing our border. Like, the amount of guns that come across the Canadian border. Like, that's why Canada is, there's always like these graphs of like gun deaths per capita. Canada's usually like, I think like number 2 or number 3. Like, we're always up there only because we are right next door to the worst in the world.
Gun factory. We're next door to the gun factory.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I don't want you guys to close your border because I might need to hop that bitch depending on how things go. So don't do that yet.
Do it.
Open borders benefit everyone. It's a human right, I think. Not that we're there right now, but it's. I always thought it was like a goal, a long-term goal. Hang on, the chat is like, you guys are talking about I have kids. I didn't know Mike had kids. What the fuck are you guys? Okay, there's a couple of other videos that I have.
Wait, Mike, you have kids?
His pets. Those are
yeah,
kids, apparently.
Remember?
Yeah. Okay, so there is Steven Crowder beefing with Candace Owens for alleging that Israel and Donald Trump killed Charlie Kirk. There's Donald Trump basically
Did you see Candace Owens has evolved to attacking Erica Kirk? And I'm like, she is saying she is saying things out loud that if any liberal or leftist even joked about, they would be fired from their jobs. Like, I was like, oh my God, like Alex Jones tier levels of conspiracy theories right now. It's like, it's pretty wild, saying that like Trump had insider knowledge, the real killer's not been caught. The whole thing is a staged op to hide who the real killer is, like all this stuff like that. I'm like, oh my God, like I hated Charlie Kirk and I wouldn't be saying this shit.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, she definitely can get away with certain things that no one else could.
Although it's ruffling feathers, I'll pull up the tweet because Steven Crowder called her the C word in response to her talking about this, and I love how he pussied out and like censored himself.
He censored it. Fuck.
Yeah, so brave. You can watch this clip and draw one of two conclusions. Erica Kirk is evil and conspired with the Trump administration to kill her husband, or real Candace Owens is a miserable cunt, but he can't say that with his full chest because he's a pussy. But what she says is actually kind of low key insane. So it does seem to be, it does seem to be making the rounds. I don't know if you guys want to watch this. We can watch some of it, but she pretty explicitly infers that Trump killed Charlie Kirk, but also Israel, kind of. She's kind of just like, it's stream of consciousness, so it's not super coherent. But what she says is, I'll just let you watch.
My heart aches for the fact that he gave so much of his life to Trump and to politics, and they just were like, nope, that is it. It serves us or it doesn't serve us, and we want to move on. And so here's a holiday. Bro, if they try to give me a holiday, what is with them giving people a holiday after they kill them? Why is that a thing? You know what I mean? Like, oh, Martin Luther King, what about this holiday? What about this boulevard? Anyways, let me knock it off. Like, they're going to give Charlie Kirk a boulevard. They already did. They did in Israel. They gave him freaking boulevard. It's like, as soon as they give you a boulevard and a holiday, they definitely killed you. Okay, there's no question. They killed you. There's no way. That's like their signature thing. It's like that's what they do.
Being the Republicans,
it's the Fed signature. It's how they sign off after they murder you. So like holiday and a boulevard. And it's never on the nice side of town either. Like Charlie Kirk Boulevard is not going to be on the nice side of town. Anyways, I will be back on the 27th, you guys. Thank you guys for all the support throughout these couple of weeks, these last really kind of 6 weeks since Charlie died. And we will see you guys then.
Oh, he shared his clip too.
Well, let me first be tactful here and tell you that outrageous claims, and this is an outrageous claim, require outrageous evidence.
Bitch, that's not what the saying is, and you need to take your own fucking advice. I don't know if you want to watch more of him, but
It sounded like she was just kind of, I don't know, joking.
Maybe
like,
being facetious.
She was ending her live stream just trying to like riff, whatever. That's how it came off to me.
Maybe
she's been pushing that for a while now, that it's most likely an outside, like that the real killer has not been caught. She's been presenting a lot of evidence that apparently shows that wasn't the real shooter. And
she was saying it was Israel, wasn't she?
Yeah, well, she's implicating that it was because he was turning on Israel in the last moments, even though he was like the most ardent Zionist on the right pundit circuit. But I say let them fight, keep going. Ramp this stuff up, please. Do not stop. This is great. It's very good for the left if there are full-blown conspiracy theories that divide the right across two separate lines. So
absolutely, I hope that she responds to Steven Crowder. That'd be great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she has before. He did you know that he apparently dropped in to her Instagram replies at one point, and then she called him out for it and was insinuating that he was getting flirty with her shortly after their divorce. Yeah.
Damn. I didn't know this.
I know.
Wow.
Okay. There's another video that I wanted to play because it also pissed me off. This is of so to give you some context, in Michigan, there's another really great race taking place for the Senate. Dr. Abdul El Sayed, he's the GOAT. He's the best. He supports Medicare for all. He's another Mamdani. He's another Bernie type figure who is
his ad's really good too.
Yeah, his ad is phenomenal. 10 toes down for Medicare for all. And then the establishment pick is now Mallory McMarrow. She is somebody who is she's had some great viral moments I've covered, standing up for LGBTQ youth and whatnot. But for the most part, compared to Dr. Abdul El Sayed, terrible. She is pro-genocide, and her answer on healthcare is what I want to point out here, because this is the kind of thing that I really want Democrats, as radicalized as they're becoming, to look out for, because they're going to speak the populist rhetoric, but they're not going to actually substantively adopt the policies. And this is the perfect example of somebody bullshitting you, trying to get you to think they support something they don't. And it's just the weasel words are out of control. So let me go ahead and bring up this clip. Hopefully it doesn't cut out, but here we go.
What's your stand on Medicare for all?
Great question. I support, unabashedly, universal health care. Everybody should have access to health care.
Okay, just to pause right there. Universal health care is a code word by corporate Democrats of not Medicare for all, okay? And the whole unabashedly, unequivocally, and then saying something different, That is such a weaselly fucking move right there. And everybody having access to healthcare is completely different than having healthcare, period. Because we all have access to healthcare. It's just a matter of whether or not we can get it. Because, some of us don't have insurance. Some of us don't have the money to pay for insurance. Some of us lost our jobs and lost our healthcare. That's but she goes on and it gets worse, actually.
Yeah, she goes on to prove your point by actually explaining what she does support, and it's just like, okay.
Right.
I haven't seen this.
Like, she just kind of goes full Republican with the way she talks about this.
And I want to tell you why I said it that way. So first of all, I shared my own story that I graduated right into the recession. I did not have any health insurance. I couldn't even stay on my parents' plan until I was 26. And for millennials and Gen Z especially, we do not have the job security that our parents had. In my first campaign, my opponent knocked me, sent out mailers saying, she hasn't had a job longer than 2 years. I was like, well, yeah, I'm a millennial. That's normal. That's just what we have to deal with. So the idea that for generations now who are going to change your job every couple of years, that your health insurance would be tied to your job is ludicrous. Also, by the way, it prevents small businesses from being able to compete with larger companies because offering comprehensive benefits and health insurance plans and childcare and paid leave is so prohibitively expensive that we have this situation where the larger companies get bigger and they can offer more and they can get the best talent, and small businesses, which make up 90% of Michigan's economy, can't.
Right, wouldn't it be better if they had Medicare for all, basically be a small
Yeah, she's
business
making the
tax
argument
cut?
for Medicare for all, but then what she does next is
Okay,
incredible.
what's her answer for all this? I was like, I don't see the problem yet. 'Cause
Yeah,
I haven't-
same.
You will
Yeah.
see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I said it the way that I said it because some people conflate Medicare for all with universal health care.
Neoliberals do that when they want to obfuscate and deflect. So continue, Mallory.
But Medicare for all, when it's actually defined, is one singular government-run healthcare system that we are all on.
Okay, pause. That is
Yes.
not what Medicare for all is. It is a government-run insurance system. A government-run system would be like the UK's NHS system, where hospitals are, for the most part, government-owned. You have some private hospitals, but they're government-owned. Medicare for all just means that the entity that foots the bill is the government, not Aetna, not Blue Cross Blue Shield. It's insurance. That's what that is. So she's wrong on the substance, just like, period.
Now, I want you to imagine what that would look like with Donald Trump and RFK Jr. at the head of it.
Okay, this right here is a Republican argument.
This is an argument against all government program. Why have Social
you.
Security? What if they take money out of your account? Like, this is just like,
Thank you. So why have any fucking government programs, right?
It's
Like,
insane.
just do away with all of it. And what she doesn't seem to understand is that when you're building Medicare for all, you can structure it so that way it's not part of discretionary spending, because of course you don't want a Medicare for all system that could be defunded every single year by Republicans. So you make it mandatory spending, as is the case with Medicare, as is the case with Social Security. The fact that she is saying this, I have to imagine that she knows what she's saying and she's lying. Otherwise she's like completely like unknowledgeable about the way the government functions. So either she's dumb or she's disingenuous. I don't know what's worse, but it gets even worse somehow.
It gets worse.
You have this man who just last week held a conference saying that anybody who has been circumcised probably has autism because they probably took Tylenol. This is a man who decapitated a whale and dropped a dead bear off in Central Park, who works out. I don't know if you've seen this, and I know it's the pettiest thing to complain about RFK Jr. about. He works out in jeans.
Notice how far away we got from healthcare, by the way.
I know.
Yeah.
I was like, I've yet to hear what your solution to any of this is.
I just want to always bring it back to the question, what's your stance on Medicare for all? And we're at RFK works out in jeans. Cool. Got it.
No one's on the other side of these issues. No one thinks like in the lib side that he's a normal human. Like,
Yeah.
do you want RFK to be your doctor? I know I don't. It's stupid.
It's so fucking just like shady.
There has to be so much chafing. I don't trust that man to make medical decisions for my family. So we have to get to a place where there is a real, legitimate public option. And if you want to opt into another private health insurance, that you should have the freedom to do that. That is where I stand, and we were 2 votes short when the Affordable Care Act passed of getting that done. Now, it's not just an option, it's essential.
So, doesn't her own point undermine a public option as well? Like, she's saying, don't trust the government-run healthcare, but a public option is perfectly... Like, what?
Would you want RFK Jr., who wears jeans and works out, to oversee the public option? You want to get your healthcare from that guy?
I don't want.
And she shared
blood.
this shit herself. She's like, "I'm cooking in this clip."
Yeah, she shared that clip herself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like this is from.
This
her
wasn't
campaign.
leaked.
What are the?
It feels like she wants to do stand-up.
Yeah. Oh, David.
I see all of you replies.
You look good. David was cooking.
I was definitely triggered by this clip.
Me too, because it's like, okay, it's 2025. We're still having a conversation about like what to do regarding healthcare. We know the fucking answer already. I'm so sick of these Democrats who still won't just say the words Medicare for all. The same thing happened when Hakeem Jeffries went on Jon Stewart's show. Jon Stewart tried so hard to gently guide him to the conclusion that Medicare for all is what the fuck we want. And he just could not say the fucking words. It was as if he'd turn into stone if he said Medicare for all. And Jon Stewart was like, well, you know, all of the incrementalist approaches, you know, it seems like you're still defending the terrible system and people want something that's revolutionary. And Hakeem Jeffries was like, well, yeah, we gave them revolutionary change, the Affordable Care Act. We just got to sell it better. It's like, I can't take this shit. I can't take this shit. We would not be dealing with the healthcare crisis right now, going like, what was it, like doubling in price if we just had Medicare for all, if we weren't paying for this shit ourselves. It's so infuriating. And as Jen Perlman points out, like at this point in time, if you are a Democrat and you're against Medicare for all, you're as stupid as a fucking flat earther. Like, full stop. Because we already know what the solution is. So why are you pretending as if, like, a public option, which would devolve into a 2-tiered system, it would be underfunded and overburdened, and make it so that way you basically got to be rich to get quality healthcare in this fucking system. Why are you pretending as if that's better? I mean, I guess it's better than, like, oh, just, like, put more money into the ACA, but for fuck's sake, we already know what the answer is. And I'm so tired of these Democrats who can't just say the words Medicare for all. Like, you should not be even remotely a contender if you're not unequivocally saying Medicare for all. If you can't say that with your full chest, fuck off. Like, I don't want anything to do with you.
I also think politicians that back Medicare for all need to be ready to combat messages like the one we just saw. Like, because I feel like that her message there is a good dumb guy argument. Like, oh yeah, I don't want Trump running my healthcare system. Like that, I can see people falling for that. So you have to be able to hook it back to, so what, you're against all public programs, you're against Social Security because of Donald Trump might be in charge of it. Like, it's a ridiculous argument, but people have to be ready to like combat the stupidity of it, because I'm afraid an argument like that could latch on if they start running with that. And I could see if Medicare for all becomes a conversation again, like on a national level, maybe during a future election, if those happen again, I could see people like the Democratic establishment taking up that argument where it's like, we don't want this madman in charge of healthcare. Like, I could see them using that against Medicare for all.
Yeah, and it'll work because it's a compelling argument, right? And it's also the scare tactic of, oh my God, they're going to get rid of your private insurance. That's the dumbest thing ever, but people don't hear it as, oh, I'm going to lose my private insurance, which I hate. It's, I'm going to lose my insurance altogether. And, you know, they don't know what to expect, so they just fear it. And like people are more likely to go with the devil that they know as opposed to the devil that they don't know. So it's so easy to turn public opinion against it. Death panels, yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, for Obamacare. Like,
I
mean,
people were scared. I was like, death panels? What are we talking about here?
Yeah.
I got terrified by that shit.
It's really, really frustrating. So we've got to be on the lookout. And basically any Democrat who says this shit or talks about Medicare for all who wants it, we have to absolutely fucking bully the fuck out of them and make them afraid to open their mouth when it comes to healthcare. Because I am not going to accept anything less, okay? If you say that you want to increase access to healthcare or universal healthcare, Medicare for all who want it, suck my fucking dick from the back. I don't want to hear from you. You're done. Drop out. Like this is we're so fucking done with this conversation. Like I'm so infuriated.
I could see
by this
another
shit.
one that they're going to bring up. You want to pay for Donald Trump's health care?
Yeah. Oh my god. Right, because Hillary literally did that, right? I don't want to pay for Donald Trump's kids to go to school.
Yeah, Hillary did that for college.
Yes, because they're gonna go to publicly funded fucking colleges like peasants. I just can't take it.
Could you imagine hanging out with the unwashed as if?
Right. But yeah, so if you are in Michigan, please support Abdul El Sayed. He ran for governor of Michigan, and he was the one that got away. But now we can bring him back, and I think it'd be phenomenal. I think he's actually better than Bernie on communicating Medicare for all. Not only because he wrote a book on it, but because he's literally a doctor. So there isn't a better messenger than Abdul El Sayed. He knows the healthcare system. He can speak to it with like such eloquence that he blows everyone else out of the water. I think that he would be able to explain all of these nuances and, you know, cut through the fear mongering. Please vote for Abdul El Sayed because I want Medicare for all, and I think that he is somebody who can really be a good messenger for that. We all want Medicare for all, but he's somebody who would be a great asset to have in that fight for sure.
Absolutely. It's not surprising to see that line of thought, but it was a bit jarring to see it in 2025. That was a very 2016 argument.
Yeah. Or like Pete Buttigieg, like Medicare for all who want it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that sounds lovely.
Well, I want it. That sounds good to me.
Yeah. What's not to love?
It's just crazy that like our health insurance premiums are about to double and we still can't get them on board with Medicare for all. Like, what do we have to do? God damn.
Cost of everything.
It's insane.
And y'all are getting that sweet Argentine beef that'll apparently arrive with a whole host of diseases.
Wait, what is this about the beef?
Because of the problem with the beef farming and Trump's and his tariffs, they're apparently going to be sourcing a large percentage of beef from Argentina. But there were early reports that like the GOP are warning people some of it may be arriving like late and might already be a little bit off. Something to that effect. And then I was like, that sucks because that's like some of the best beef in the world. If you do get it, you are in for quite a treat. But there you have it.
I mean, the farmers have to feel so outraged, right? I mean, the soybean farmers, for example, they lost their number one customer, China, because of the tariffs. And now China's just buying from Argentina. And Trump's like, hey, Milei, here's $40 billion. Here's a bailout. Even though you claim that anarcho-capitalism is going to save your country, it's destroying the country. Here's a bailout
Right before
anyway.
an election.
Right before an election, yeah.
Right before an election, a $40 billion bailout. That's so obscene. Like, you know, it'd be less insulting if he wasn't palling around with Elon Musk at like rallies, holding a chainsaw and be like, cut the red tape and like all that kind of stuff, right? It's like, you clowns, he doubled the poverty rate. Like, can we finally give up on this experiment, right? Like, hyper-capitalism, fascism, anarcho-capitalism, all of them suck. There is no good version of it.
No, it doesn't work. Like, Milei is proof that it doesn't work. He was supposed to be the test case, and he's proving why you can't have anarcho-capitalism. It simply, like, destroys your country and explodes the poverty rate. Like, you can't cut government to the bone and expect everything to be copacetic, but Trump is going to make sure that he, you know, props it the fuck up, buys beef from them as opposed to Americans. I mean, you have to
crypto
feel
scams.
like...
Don't forget about those too.
What was that?
And do crypto scams. He promoted
And do crypto scams, yeah. It's so crazy. How do these farmers like rationalize this? Because, you know, farmers, the ones who were being interviewed about the soybeans, at least, they all voted for Donald Trump. So you have to feel at least a little bit stupid because he said he was going to implement tariffs. So, like, do you not feel like you have egg on your face? It just is. It's kind of fucking crazy that he's fucking you over, and he kind of said he was gonna fuck you over with the tariffs, and you're just like, just cool, not gonna like repudiate, you know, the vote and work against them. No, it's very frustrating.
Well, Jays are in the World Series, so that's cool. Which, by the way, I have a video. I was going to put it out today, but I couldn't do it in time. I lost energy after spending all day like prepping like 3 videos and didn't do any of them. But video on the insane ticket prices, and part of it, like people. I love when moments happen where people finally realize when conservative policy fucking sucks, because Doug Ford came in and removed the cap on reselling of tickets. He did that back in like 2019. And now there's these insane prices on these Jays tickets because they were bought up by these scalpers that are trying to resell them on Ticketmaster for like insane profits. And people are finally realizing when you vote for this jackass so many times, maybe it impacts you in a way that you actually finally recognize. You know, there are many other ways you can recognize it, but at least this one is like clear, and people that typically maybe aren't following politics will understand. So I'm hoping.
What are we talking about for insane prices?
Sorry?
What are we talking about for insane prices? Like,
well, minimum $2,000 for the worst seat, and that's one ticket. So if you want to bring like someone else, we're talking $4,000, and that's before the Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster has these fees where it's like an extra like $1,000 for the fees. Like it's so, yeah, it's absolutely, and it goes up to like, I think I saw one for like $12,000. Like
what?
Like yeah, we're absolutely
or one baseball game. That's wild.
It's absolutely insane. And there are people comparing, like last time Jays won the World Series, it was 93, and I saw a ticket $167, which no, actually I think it may have been $67, whatever it was. In today's numbers, it would be less than $200. So like, with inflation, like we could have had normal ticket prices. I understand, like, you know, there's more demand now for baseball than that I'm sure would have increased those ticket prices anyways. But to go from like $67 for a World Series baseball game in '93, adjusted for inflation, like $200, to we're looking at $2,000. It's completely ridiculous. And like there's like 50,000 seats in there. Actually, I think it's more like 40,000 now since they did some renovations. But like, I don't know. It'd be nice to have some normal people at these games. Hopefully all these billionaires that are going are still going to be able to, you know, bring the energy and cheer. But it's just insane.
We need to break up Ticketmaster. Like that had to have happened a long time ago. It's the worst example of monopoly just operating as they would if they had total domination and power. Where like you can't even perform at a major city unless you're going through them. You know, to get the stadiums, you have to use their services. It's such garbage.
Yeah, here, actually, I'll show you one of the tabs I have. This is the only time I will ever use Toronto Sun as a source because they have a picture of a ticket price. But you want to bring a family of 4? It's $40,000.
Bro.
Service fee $5,500.
Oh, but $0 on the processing fee, so that's
that's nice. That's kind.
It's just
$5,000.
It's completely
so
ridiculous.
Insane.
I'm not even sure. Where are they? See where these seats are.
With that said, folks, David Dole needs your super chats. Please send over.
That's right.
Super chat.
Send me a cool. I'll keep it easy. A cool $10,000 so I can get 2 normal seats.
You should have been here last week, David, when Omega sent like, what was it, Matt? Like 500 gifted memberships to all of us.
He gave 50 gifted memberships to each one of us.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
100
awesome.
to Rebecca and Ariana, I believe. No, he gave 100 to us each.
I'm not even sure if he would have been able to do that for me because I thought I have that enabled, but I don't think I've ever been able to receive a gifted membership. So I don't even know if that works in Canada.
Oh.
I have to double check that.
We'll test it out,
Yeah,
folks.
it works.
On YouTube?
Yep.
Okay, good. Well, then shit, I should have been there.
It was like
I think he gave you one too. No, I thought. I don't know.
I don't
Can't
know.
remember.
Maybe.
Me?
I think so.
Oh, I'll have to check.
It was like at the very tail end of the stream, I want to say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, though. It's cool to have the occasional millionaire watch the show, I guess.
I know. Shit. Well, should we get to super chats?
Yeah, I guess.
Yes,
right?
you should, and I should get to logging off. But it's been fun.
David, do you want to go, or are you just leaving?
Yeah, no, I don't have chats. I'm dropping.
Okay.
See you, David.
Good night.
Take care, David.
You guys want me to go? I only have 4.
Feel free.
Yeah, go ahead.
Prairie Fire Neb, thank you very much for the $10. We are halfway through the harvest. I put out a YouTube video on my YouTube channel. This is a selfish promotion. I want to do more. My birthday was on Tuesday. I'm 32 now, and I needed to give you $10. Very happy birthday to you, Prairie Fire.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Kowalski.
From the Majority Report. Kowalski.
Yes, Prairie Fire is Kowalski. Yep, the Kowalski. Yeah.
The Kowalski. Awesome. Chris the Bolt 7456, thank you for being a member. If we say we want out for the night to change and become better people, why can't we accept this from the left too? I think everyone on the panel, when we were talking about Graham, we're all of the mind of that. I think every single one of us is for restorative justice. I think our concerns come from the fact that there are elements where I haven't seen any kind of, like, I would watch Mike's video. It's really good because he plays clips to bring up, like, when he talks about Graham Plattner in his service, he shows the Ryan Grimm clip just so you can see that he doesn't give a direct answer to a very direct question. Why would you go and return to a war that you were already protesting? Which I think is a pretty valid question. And, so I think restorative justice, I am 100% for. And, people keep bringing up y'all are doing purity testing. Personally, for me, I think it has to be first and foremost from the person. You don't have to give someone your, restoration on behalf of them. I think they can come forward
and also Lance, somebody in my chat, Tropical Ding Dong, said that Graham apparently watches Leftist Mafia. So I'd be down to bring him on, and
we can ask him.
How do you know that? Wait, what? Yeah,
that's what they said that he said. So I would love to talk to him because
all right. If you were watching right now,
I am for restorative justice. It's just that, like, we've been through Obama, Tulsi, Fetterman, and so whenever there's a red flag, I wanted addressed. And if he could speak to some of our specific concerns, I'm down for that. So yeah, I'd be happy to have him on. So yeah, we'll try to set that up. We have a guest next week, but the week after, it'd be cool to talk to him and ask these questions directly, because I feel like, if we can get some more direct answers, I would feel better about, like, supporting him, because obviously, like, on policy, he's the best in the race. I just, like, I don't want to cheerlead for somebody if I have these doubts. If I have, like, if my spidey senses are tingling, I want that to be addressed. And if it goes away, then that'd be great. I'd love to, like, I want to be excited. Like, we need things to be excited about. I want to be all in, but I can't right now.
I'll get him to praise President Xi, and then we'll know that he's not going to start a war with China.
We'll get him to admit he's actually a communist after all, and then we'll see.
Pirate D Strike, thank you for the $5. Hassan has interviewed IDF soldiers that were radicalized by his time and are now anti-Zionist. But Graham, even to most standards, is very shady. And to that point, I am also for ex-soldiers or veterans who have actually done combat, because I'm a little soft internet comedian who can speak towards that and use their experience to try and take down the military-industrial complex. I think it is a net benefit. I think those ex-IDF soldiers who speak out against the war crimes of the IDF are useful. I'm not one of the people who's just like every one of them, you just call them a baby killer and run away. So
agree 1,000%. Yeah. And I like, not everybody is doing that, but some people are kind of like, I think that's the takeaway, that, oh my God, all vets are, like, just irredeemable. Not what I'm saying at all. Because, like, I've talked about before how, like, when you're young, that's where they get you. They try to recruit me when I was, like, 17 years old working at Subway and shit. Like, I get it. Like, if you don't have anywhere to go, they recruit you. They prey on you if you're poor. So it's not like, oh, you're irredeemable. It's just a matter of, like, I want to know specifically about, like, the radicalization. Like, did you become anti-war because of your time? That, like, I just need things clarified. That's my pitch. I'm not saying cancel him. Like, I'm not saying, oh my God, he's irredeemable, fuck him. I just, like, I need questions to be answered for me to, like, be all in. You know what I mean? Like, you're not bad if you support him. Like, I'm not trying to, like, I don't know, demonize anybody and, oh, you support fucking Nazis. That's not my take, and I hope that people understand that. Like, I'm trying to be nuanced here with my video, and yeah. I mean, I said everything like Lance said in my video, so hopefully people take away the point that I'm trying to be, like, as fair as I can be, because, I like his policy platform for the most part. I have some disagreements, but I like most of it.
Dope tipped 9673. Thank you so much for the $5. Molly MTK, thank you very much for the $2. With the message, why were you bringing up the fact that POCs haven't spoken positively about him? Specifically because A, I didn't see that, and B, like I understand it. Coming just for myself, I think to me the biggest worry is that I think politicians come and go. I think if you start downplaying the severity of a Nazi tattoo or serving in, for Blackwater, the fucking mercenary organization, I think that shit is honestly fucked and should be condemned no matter what. Doesn't matter who's running and whether they're running. And I think that like for a lot of online commentators, people were trying to do these weird things like, oh, I don't think that's the tattoo you think it is, or the hall monitors are out here to purity test. And it's like, I think it's a fair bar to be like, if you have a goddamn fucking totem conf on your chest, you get that shit lasered off the second you find out what it is. Like, I wouldn't want to have a fucking suspicious series of lightning bolts on my fucking car, let alone on my skin for like 18 years.
Yeah, it's not one of those situations where like, who among us hasn't gotten drunk and gotten a Nazi tattoo in Croatia during our time in Fallujah? Like, it's kind of a very like, it's a very interesting, we'll say, circumstance. You know, I think you're not unreasonable for like drawing a red line here or just having additional questions about like whether or not he's like the real deal. You know what I mean? Corn Cop says ultra lib. It's not ultra lib. It's just like, we don't have to like just like gobble up whatever slop, you know, somebody who supports Medicare for all sells us. We can ask questions. I think it's reasonable for us to ask questions and be critical.
And like, I don't think anyone's owed a Senate seat in the most powerful nation that has the most powerful army in the world. Like, if you worked as a mercenary and you've realized what you did was wrong, you can also volunteer for Food Not Bombs or de-radicalizing hate organizations and stuff like that, right? Like, when you're trying to represent a bunch of voters and then speak on the behalf as like, this guy's a communist, he's a leftist and stuff like that, then there's obviously going to be a large percentage of people watching this that are taken aback by that kind of stuff. I think, I think it's extremely unfortunate. I also think that there's a double standard that's applied to like every day. Like I said, Zoran Mamdani is questioned about whether or not he supports Hamas, right? Like there's a thing where people who are Muslim on a regular basis are expected to have to answer for all their things, and then other people were like, this was just an unfortunate drunken tattoo. And if you want to give him the benefit of the doubt, maybe it was. Maybe he had no idea what it meant, and he doesn't know to this day, and only recently found out about that. Whatever the case may be, but that doesn't mean that I have to discount it as nothing more than just like a drunken mistake, when like it's a pretty fucked up thing. But yeah, to the other points, I think it is good in the other cases that he's taken back the other things that he said. I think it is really good to be like, I shouldn't have made those racist comments. They were wrong. I shouldn't have called people the F slur. I was wrong.
I think that's great.
That's what you want. I don't want people to, there's no such thing as me being able to say I cancel someone and they're canceled, or like, that they're going to get taken down off YouTube or something like that. I would rather, it would be so beneficial to the world if tomorrow J.K. Rowling woke up and was like, holy fuck, I was completely wrong. All my, everything I believed in was unscientific, and I couldn't use Google just once to realize how messed up it is that I'm regurgitating all these, anti-gay talking points. Then that would have a material effect on a lot of people's lives if she changed the next day. I would rather they change. Changing is kind of the point. And that's why it's also fine to be suspicious if you've got a Nazi tattoo. Did you see the put? It was like the size of a baby's face.
I'll also say to add to Lance's point, as a gay person, I can't accept his apology for saying the F slur on behalf of all gay people. But personally, I accept it. I love that he, denounced that. And I'll just say, from firsthand experience, somebody who used to be homophobic that changed, they're some of the best advocates for queer people because they understand, what makes these people tick, right? So, I think it's good to have people, part of the movement that have reformed on certain things. It's just a matter of like there's so much there with regard to the Blackwater stuff that like I just haven't. I want to see more to know that there's like full reformation there as well, so that way I can like feel like okay about like yeah, fuck yeah, let's go, Graham Elwood. That's a different person. Thinking of Ron Placone, Jimmy Dore. He's not a Jimmy Dore dude. Anyways, Graham Plattner. I just want to feel good about it, and right now I don't feel like I just feel like not comfortable promoting him just in case we get like Fetterman again. I'm not saying that that's gonna happen, but I just like I'm very cautious. Forgive me for being cynical because
I think I think a mistake people make is that they're used to the pointing out the hypocrisy of someone online by going back in their history and finding something that shows that they're being hypocritical or wrong. But that doesn't work when the bad thing is in the past and the person is now no longer advocating for the bad thing. Like, the point of going back in someone's history is to show how they're hypocritical of a position today for a bad reason. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you find someone saying something sexist or racist from 10 years ago in their online history, but today they're anti-racist and anti-sexist, anti-misogyny, then I mean, that shows growth in the right direction. That's not a gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, they should have like maybe atoned for it, in some way, and like or explain it and explain where their heads were at. But I mean, like I think it's very important to accept growth. I have defended people, who have grown. I defended Cenk Uygur during his campaign when all of the old Young Turks clips came out. It's just like of course I'm willing to allow people to grow. I've grown over the past like 10 years on the show. I feel like I've become more edgy than when I started, but like nonetheless, like rehabilitation and growth is important. So I'm not trying to like purify us into oblivion is I guess what I'm trying to say. I just like I don't know, man. I want some questions answered, and if he watches it and will come on, I think that's great. That's great.
It's also a year out, right? Like I don't think anyone is going to be a spoiler. If someone's like, it comes down to two options, what are you going to do? Like, are you going to say don't vote or something? I'd be like, no. Hey, if I was in Maine, I would probably vote for the person who has openly said that they are not going to support Israel, not going to support AIPAC, and etc.
Right.
But being a year out, you can definitely voice your opinion of being like, I mean, a lot of it is fucked.
Especially when there's ranked choice voting in Maine, right? Because like that is really important. I don't know if there's ranked choice voting in the primary, but at least in the general there is. But I mean, if there's ranked choice voting in the primary, it's not like you're gonna like hurt somebody by really vetting them. And I think that based on like what I saw from Graham Plattner so far, he kind of like this is not somebody who's a politician. I'm sure he expected some of this shit to a degree to come out. It's why he got ahead of the Nazi tattoo and released it himself. So I feel like I don't think he would be offended that we're asking these questions. I think that like he would just like, he'd engage with it, which I think is important. So I'm down to engage, of course.
Looney Tunes, thank you so much. Fine, here you go. Don't miss your payday again like last week. Also, watch the Vanguard where they cover Anna and Cenk calling out Sam and Emma again. I haven't seen what happened.
So okay, what position would you expect Anna Kasparian to take on the tattoo?
I would think she doesn't care and it was a drunken mistake.
Wrong. She's taking the woke position and she's against the tattoo, but the reason why is because Emma is for rehabilitation.
Wait, are you serious? She's basing her political opinion out of spite?
That's what it seems like. That's what it seems like.
By you saying that she's of the against the tattoo position, you make it sound like the opposite is that there is a for the tattoo position.
Right. No, that's fair. That's fair. I agree. No, but this is her argument, and I am not joking about this. Okay, you have to watch the Vanguard video. I tuned in live today. Okay. Anna Kasparian is mad that Majority Report can make 5 videos about birthing person, her words, and ruin somebody's life, but when it comes to a Nazi tattoo, they're willing to give that a pass. So Anna is against the Plattner situation. Cenk Uygur is he's for Graham Plattner. He's for forgiveness because his point to Anna was like, I was running a campaign and they brought up all my old articles and shit. So I mean, you know, they did this to me, so they're doing it to Graham Plattner. And Anna was more like, no, but Emma says this, so I'm on the opposite side of that. It's actually fucking hilarious.
Wait, hold on. Can we actually watch a clip of this? I'm interested.
It's kind of long. It's kind of long.
Long.
Yeah.
Can we watch like a minute of it, maybe?
I mean, I'll pull up the Vanguards.
It sounds really entertaining, honestly.
So her position is that Emma's giving a bigger pass to the Nazi tattoo than she gave to Anna's birthing person statements. That's where her argument lies.
Oh, okay, thank God they put it at the beginning. A little preview. Go watch the whole Vanguard video on this. The Vanguard always they always bring the receipts. This is just like the first few seconds of their video,
But how do you like ruin someone's life? How does Majority Report do 5 videos on me saying I don't like calling women birthing people? And that's worthy of full cancellation. You are irredeemable. You are a TERF. You are a transphobe. You are garbage, right? How does that happen?
The answer is instead of being greedy douches who are like, oh, we're gonna get another left winger. We're gonna grab their audience. Yeah, I said it, Emma and Sam. Cancel them, cancel them. So guys, forget Majority Report. Who cares? They're a bunch of nobodies. So, oh, cry a tear about it. I know.
Bro. I'll be honest, in both cases it made me sad, like seeing Anna refusing to just like listen to any of her contemporaries and stuff. I wasn't like thrilled about that, and I wasn't like, oh yes, another leftist to take down. I was like, why the fuck are you doing this? This sucks. And I felt the same way for like people who I consider colleagues who were like, it's just a regrettable tattoo. It's not that big a deal. You guys are hall monitors. I also felt sad about that because I was like, we can't set the bar at suddenly discounting like actual Nazi tattoos or Blackwater, veterans like that. That shit is fucked, But I just
want to say that their position is, who cares about the Majority Report? They're a bunch of nobodies. At the same time, I'm probably in at least one of those videos, very likely. And I had no idea that the Majority Report did 5 videos on Anna Kasparian's birthing person comment. They didn't care so much that they went on the channel and counted how many videos there were on it. Like, come on, guys.
And I'm sorry, but nobody, you could tell, like, she's just like, she's misremembering. We did not try to fucking cancel her. We were handling her with kid gloves and shit. It's whatever. Like, I don't want to go down that path again, but like, we weren't trying to cancel you, Anna. We were just trying to be like, hey, bestie, this is why we think that what you're saying is problematic, and you made the same point like 6 months earlier. But it's okay. We're trying to cancel you and ruin your life. That's fine. That's fine. Just frame it that way. Whatever.
That's very funny though. Oh my god.
Rachel Atwood 9555. Thank you so much for the $2. I see Mallory, but I hear DNC consultants talking. Yeah, that clip sucked. I was not happy to watch that. And Christy Bolt 7456. Thank you for the $5. Great dialogue from all of you. This is why I love this show. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it that we can bring some happiness to your day, or at least make you feel a little less like you're losing your mind as you watch some of the stuff that unfolds online. Tigwick, thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub, and thank you to Viditat for resubscribing. Take it away, boys. It's all you.
All right, Matt, do you want to go first?
Sure, why not? All right, let's see what I got here. Foresto with a super chat. My work decided to save hard drive by using AI motion cameras. The AI corrected for background motion by never turning on, causing massive liability. I don't understand what you're saying. My work decided to save hard drive by using AI motion cameras. I don't know
Like,
what you're saying.
he's saying his job at his work. They decided to save hard drives using AI motion cameras. The AI corrected for background motion, but never turned on, causing massive liabilities. Sounds like a fuck up of AI
Wait,
tech.
but how do you? I don't get save hard drive. What do you mean? I'm reading it. What does that mean?
If it's like a security camera that does motion detection.
Yeah, I think they were trying to.
Okay.
They were trying to
Save
save
hard
on
drive
storage
space
space
by
using
only
AI.
recording when AI detected something. Right. Interesting. Right. Okay. Now that makes sense. That's yeah. I mean, I used a device I got for review for work that records like your kid's soccer by like using AI tracking. So like you don't have to actually make sure it's always on camera. The camera like tracks where the kids go and everything. And you know, it probably tracks correctly for like 90% of the game. But the 10% it misses are all like the big moments, like the goals, the penalty kicks, the corner kicks where they score a goal. Like it messed up and missed all the big moments. So yeah, AI is not there yet. Donald James with a member for 27 months super chat. Still here, still supporting you, big dog. Let's go. Thank you, Donald. Even after the fellas over here made me reveal my NAZI, those exact letters tattoo that I had on me earlier in the. I appreciate you sticking by me.
It's gonna be a maze, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be a maze.
Alexander says agree 1000% with Matt. Why, thank you. I mean, it's hard not to agree 1000% with me. I'm always
Wow.
right.
You get like
Mike,
8% over here. Damn. Congrats,
Mike, Mike with a super chat. My dumbass just learned about the double lightning bolts. Right. I mean,
don't be too hard on yourself. If you're an American, then you got the American education system. You're all
if I'm
victims.
That was a
if
big
I'm not wrong-
controversy with Kiss, the band, was that the
Right.
SS. Yeah,
I was just
their
gonna bring
band
that
name
up.
Oh,
I was
I
gonna
didn't
bring that
think
up.
about that.
Yeah,
And
they did. They ended up
Gene
changing it.
and isn't Gene Simmons like a very pro-Zionist, like Jewish person, if
I
I
didn't-
recall correctly? So if he did not realize that their logo had the SS symbolism, and they made that logo much closer to World War II than we are right now. I mean, I'm telling you, a lot of people don't know any of the Nazi symbolism other than the swastika. My issue is that I think that later on, after getting the tattoo, he was a little bit too political to not know at some point
He was a military man. He knew.
earlier. Yeah.
I agree
Well,
with that take that he probably found out at some point and just
Yes.
didn't cover it up. That I think that
Yes.
that's what his political director said as well, and I think that probably makes the most sense.
Yeah. I think, yeah. The Synapsis, member for 27 months super chat. So what is everyone's most embarrassing tattoo? LOL. Mike?
What are you looking at me? I don't have any tattoos.
Yeah, you got so much more ink than I do. I've got a giant rose down the side of my thigh, and then the Métis symbol in one of the leaves, and that's it.
Oh, cool.
I don't have anything else.
I mean, I probably the most embarrassing I don't really have any embarrassing tattoos. I just have one that's ugly on my back. It's like it goes across my like shoulder blades, and it's basically very generic. It's like a tribal tat that I got from a tattoo artist that is shitty, but like I had a day off and I really wanted to get a tattoo. Got it when I was very young, and I've just never covered that up. It's not a Nazi tattoo, but it's just ugly. And so I'd probably get that covered up. That's probably my most, not really embarrassing, just like
Cringe.
cringe. Yeah, cringe is the best way to put it, right? Like any tribal tats, they're cringe, but us millennials, we have so many fucking. It's the tribal tats on dudes is like the tramp stamps. All millennial girls have tramp stamps, most of them, and millennial men have the fucking tribal somewhere. It's just
or
it's a
the
law of
barbed
nature.
wire or the flames or one of the other.
Well, I did not get the barbed wire because I heard that if you get that, you're going to be a bitch if you ever go to prison. So if you want to
I didn't know
protect your
that.
pussy, you can't have the barbed wire because it's a signal to the homosexuals. I don't know.
That's why
It's not at a very young age. I don't think it's real, but
that's
There was
why
so much homophobia in high school. It's so wild. You couldn't even hold your nails the wrong way if you were like this or you're like that. I was like, oh my god, no, gay, so gay, bro, you gay.
that's why I covered up my barbed wire tattoo. I had a barbed wire tattoo.
Oh, you see,
this used to be
yeah.
a barbed wire. This used to be a barbed wire tattoo. Now I'm fucking.
Oh no
with you,
way!
dude.
Oh my god!
I totally believed you.
I would no. I actually I'm one of those people who went out of my way. Like the second I was able, on my 18th birthday, I went out and got my first tattoo, and from day one, I always knew I did not want any of the cliche tattoos, because I hate them. I think they're.
That's what I got.
Yeah.
I will say the rocket on my arm kind of looks like a dick. Like if you,
hell yeah.
I don't know if you can see it. Okay. Does this? Let me get closer. It kind of looks like a dick, right?
No, it looks like a rocket.
Oh, okay. Because I've been told it looks like a dick because the head on the rocket is like a different color and it looks like a dick head.
Someone who sees penises and everything, I wouldn't think that.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's encouraging. I've gotten at least 6 people say it looks like a dickhead so far, and it doesn't bother me. Just a little bit embarrassing because it's like, oh, of course he'd get the dick tattoo on his arm and call it a rocket, but it's supposed to be a rocket.
All right, let's go to. I gotta say, all my tattoos are well done. I don't fuck around with tattoos.
I do love all my tattoos currently, except for the back one.
I take great. Whenever I see someone post like their bad tattoo online, which is a whole thing. There's like bad tattoo communities. It's like,
oh yeah, they're
how?
funny.
It's but it's like how. It's probably like the thing the reason I don't have more tattoos than I do is because every single one I get, I go through this long, painstaking process to not only pick out the design I like, but the perfect spot for it and the artist that could best appropriately do that tattoo and make it look good. Not just make it look good in the moment. They're an artist who knows how to make do a tattoo so that it looks good after it heals. That's the whole thing. I don't get people who just fucking like go out and like get a tattoo and then it looks like shit. It's like, how did you do that? How?
It all comes down to the artist. You just gotta have a good artist with a good like resume. Because like for me, when I got my sleeve, I really fucked with the artist. So I'm like, I just want like a space alien, like galaxy type of sleeve. Just go crazy. And he just did his thing. I didn't really have too much input, and I really liked it. You know, I wanted it to be colorful and like, you know, just sci-fi, and he crushed it. It's all down to like the tattoo artist and the quality of the ink that they buy. Because if you get somebody that buys cheap ink, it's going to be an ugly tattoo. It's not going to age very well.
Also, being a good artist doesn't necessarily mean you're a good tattoo artist. There's a specific art.
I think that's true.
There's an art specifically to tattooing correctly in terms of how deep you go, how you space the lines. A good tattoo artist knows how it's going to heal and adjust the art appropriately so that when it does heal, there's a lot of tattoos that look great when they're first done, and then months or a year down the line, it's just a big fucking blob because the artist didn't know what the fuck they were doing and didn't make the appropriate adjustments so that the art looked like how it was supposed to after it healed and the ink spreads.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, somebody said PDX has a lot of great tattoo shops. Yeah, that's where I got mine. PDX on Lombard, Infinity Tattoo, Colby, most talented person. Love him. Such a great artist. He did like most of my tattoos that I have, and I love them. He's so good.
Kira, hold on, this isn't a super chat, but Kiara in The Twitch chat says Matt, the tattoo snob. LOL. Yeah, I mean, you gotta be good. It's gotta be good. It's gotta be good.
It's going to
Nothing
be on
worse
you
than a
forever.
bad
So
tattoo. Yeah.
you want to be a snob about that because you can't take. I mean, you could take it off, but it's expensive and very painful.
Someone said they would only want Kat Von D to do their tattoos. Speaking of Nazis, yeah, she's not. I don't know if you should. If your knowledge of Kat Von D is when she had the show, you should probably update yourself on her. She blacked out. She blacked out all of her tattoos except for like a bunch of religious ones or something like that, if I recall correctly.
What?
Like she's weird now. Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Yeah. All her body's just filled with like just blobs of ink to get to black out the tattoos. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I wouldn't go to Kat Von D now. Also, I wouldn't go to her unless you were getting a portrait tattoo or something like that. You should also know what your tattoo artist specializes in.
Wow. Oh, she's anti-vaxxer and shit too. Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. That sucks.
The synapse. Oh wait, no, I already read this one. Ryan Lennon fan with a member for 27 months super chat. What the fuck is the point of American primaries if you cannot get rid of the Nazi tattoo candidate? The primary isn't over till June 2026. LMAO. Yeah, like I said, listen, if someone better comes along, even strategically, like from a strategic point, like they're exactly Graham Plattner without the baggage that he has from this latest scandal, and he's able to get the crowds behind him. What's that?
And the other scandals. I only found out yesterday that he was a patrolman for Abu Ghraib and, you know, the notorious torture prison, which is also really
right.
bad.
I thought you were gonna bring up the Reddit stuff. I didn't think the Reddit stuff was that big of a deal. But yeah, yeah. I mean, then yeah. But listen, if it comes down to him and Janet, what's her Mills. I mean, you got to make a calculated decision, just like we advocate you to do during any other election. Ryan Lennon fan with a super chat now, regular super chat. Emma and others saying this is normal and alienates working class Americans is the biggest indictment of American culture I've ever heard. I don't remember exactly what Emma said. Some of the stuff I saw, I would say like I agree with the larger sentiment, but I didn't fully agree with everything Emma said in terms of how she was positioning it. I think it is on him to explain and show people that's not who he is, and to do it ASAP with as much openness and transparency as possible. And I think that's on him to do, and he should do it. I mean, that's what I would do if I was running for office and there was some sort of scandal of any kind. The best way to face it is to literally address it, answer every question about it, so there's no lingering news cycles about the scandal and whatever it is and what more there could be. Just address it completely.
Agree completely.
And I don't think he's done that yet fully. So he should, because what he has said, I find it to be plausible, but there's still more that he has to set the record straight on. N Starks 007 with a $10 super chat. F the tattoo. You guys should have never bigged up a guy who worked for Blackwater after 2018. Like, seriously, how did y'all not call that a red flag? Fetterman me once, shame on you. Fetterman me twice. Fetterman never worked for Blackwater, so I mean, I guess Fetterman was perfect. I mean, that's the thing. Like,
I didn't know about the Blackwater stuff until after I originally did a video on him. I had no idea about that.
Yeah,
That's why I was never getting gassed on him the way some people were. I was just like, I'm just, it's not my guy, but if y'all want to, get excited because he gives good speeches. And I think everyone wants a soldier boy kind of their own, like their own attack dog. Like, that's why I was trying to wrap my head around why people are so possessed on this one politician on the left, on all these people who I respect and I respect their takes from normally are really going to bat for this guy. When I was like, there's the mandatory tour you did, but then there's returning 3 more times to be a part of Iraq twice, Afghanistan, and then going to Blackwater to be back in Afghanistan again, and like all of that. I was like, that just to me is like endless amounts of yikes. But I'm not a spoiler. I'd like, when it comes down to it, if someone is like, hey, by the way, there's 2 choices. There's him, and then there's the pro APAC, pro Zionist candidate, and this guy is decidedly pro Palestine and anti-imperial and stuff. Like, I'm not going to do a bunch of videos, make a bunch of tweets about it. Like, it's a year out. I think now's the time to talk about these kind of things. Now's the time to bring up these concerns.
I will say,
Right.
I do think that people were particularly excited because he is very talented in the way that he communicates. He talks like a human being, right? You could tell he's very savvy, super intelligent, but not like up his own ass, not condescending. Like, he just talks to you like a human being, which is lacking. So many politicians just don't have that talent. And he's very similar to Zoran. Not as good as Zoran. I think Zoran is really on like an Obama level, but I think Plattner is definitely politically talented. So that's probably part of it, and the platform as well. But yeah, the other, once you kind of scratch beneath the surface, it's like, okay, I would like to have some more explanations, please. But I do see the talent for sure.
Let's see. Tokyo Hans with
He's
2.
a plant. I was like, I don't think he's a plant because that's silly. But I think he, at this point, might as well as be for how he's dividing everyone, including our chats, in 2 separate camps. Half of them
Right.
everyone makes mistakes. Come on, this is why we lose. The other half being like, it should be a pretty fucking clear, red line to draw. You don't do Nazi tattooed Blackwater mercs. that's why I was like, oh, it's gonna be.
I mean, listen, it's not
QB2
that
on the Leftist Mafia.
it's not that out of place that someone would change so quickly. I mean, especially during that time frame, we've already seen people on like a snap of the fingers in 2020 become completely the opposite ideology of what they were because of the pandemic. I mean, it's really not that crazy that someone might be what Plattner was working for Blackwater in 2018 or whatever, and then 2020 comes along and his politics change. I don't think that's crazy. It's totally plausible. My thing is we have to know more. We have to learn exactly what it is from him that made him realize this was wrong or not who he was or wanted to be, and how he ended up where he is now. That's what we got to know. Tokyo Hans with the super chat. The other Dem running against Fetterman also had a stroke within a week of Fetterman. Did he? He was your normal Zionist lib, but took a 180 after the stroke. Wait, what? I'm so confused.
There's a theory that Fetterman got more aggressive towards.
No, but it sounds like he says the other Dem running against Fetterman had the stroke. Read what he says. He's not saying Fetterman had the stroke.
No.
Or that's how I'm reading it. I don't know. There's another post from Tokyo Hans. I can't find it. Why did Mike disappear? I don't see where we left off. Why would you do this to me, Mike? Why would you leave right now? Oh, he's really. Oh, there he is. All right, Mike. Where? Find the next post for me. I can't see it.
It's not
It's
Tokyo
another
Hans?
No, it's another one. I just read that one.
Oh, another one. Okay, okay.
Yeah. Tokyo Hans with another one. Can you imagine Cuomo as mayor during 9/11? He probably would have rushed all the elderly into Building 7.
Damn.
Rachel Atwood with a $10 super chat. Shameless plug for Jeremy Wallen for Congress against Richie Neal in Massachusetts. Massachusetts won. The guy who smeared Alex Morse in 2020.
Oh.
Jeremy Wallen is a high school teacher in Northampton, Massachusetts, Michael's hometown. Oh, I'm gonna have to look him up.
There's also a primary challenger for Richie Torres. I don't know if you guys saw that. He's a straight up socialist.
Yeah, but then I saw he wasn't a primary challenge for.
He's not Andre Easton.
He's running as an independent, which is he's
so
wasting,
he has 0% chance.
He's wasting his time. Yeah, I don't know
that's
why.
Disappointing.
I saw a lot of people talking about it, and no one really, I guess, looked further into it. And it's I don't totally missing the mark. I don't know why you would do that.
Yeah, you're not gonna win if you're running as an independent,
especially in the Bronx, which is fairly like out of all the boroughs minus Staten Island, which is just Republican, but out of all the boroughs that vote Democrat, Bronx is probably like the safest in terms of like would vote straight down the Democratic line. Whoever's there would not stray from voting the Democratic line. So waste of an opportunity to not just, even if you fucking don't think, don't feel like a Democrat. That's what you need to do if you want to get Richie Torres out of office.
At least run as a Democrat and then switch to independent when you get elected. Just
or don't even nothing's forcing you to vote with the Democrats just because you have the D next to your name. Look at fucking Fetterman.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Look at what's his face from who used to who's no longer there in West Virginia. What's his stupid name? You know who I'm talking about.
Joe Manchin.
Yeah, Joe Manchin. Fucking
I said his
Manchin.
name and almost gagged.
Rachel Atwood with another super chat says Jeremy is for Medicare for all. Richie Neal is majorly not. Looney Tunes 9000 says it's all the boys today, right? Yeah, we got just the guy. No girls allowed today. Foresto says a guy got arrested for playing the Imperial March at ICE. I saw that. The ACLU is now representing him in a lawsuit. Good. Kowalski with a $10 super chat. Medicare for all is a policy I will not compromise on. My dad died when I was 10 and my mom at 19. I'm sorry to hear that, Kowalski. They'd be here if we had a normal healthcare system. Children should not have to feel that kind of pain. Yeah. Absolutely agree, Kowalski. Absolutely. Tigwick with a super chat. All right, Matt, I'm pitching in the pool to get David to the World Series. Only 4,995 to go. Right. Bad Enchilada, member for 4 months super chat. Embracing Plattner will show young men that the left is forgiving and people can change and be liked. Yeah. John Jeffrey with the super chat says, what about the poop from Trump's jet? It was so liquidy. Must have leaked from his diaper. Poopy. Yeah, he's such a weirdo, but he's very boomer. Trump is the ultimate boomer, and posting AI slop is the most boomer thing you can do right now.
If you asked me to come up with the most lowbrow metaphor for Trump's presidency, I'd be like, "Oh, he's just shitting all over the American people." But he went and did it, so I don't even have to be that lowbrow.
Destroying the White House, shitting all on people. It's just all very symbolic, on the nose.
Andrew with a super chat says, "Did you guys see? They said they are releasing more on Plattner just when it's gonna hit harder. Left is best." I don't know what else could possibly be out there. I'm trying to think what could be worse. I mean, listen, if there's like a photo of him with like the Hitler mustache, then we're really there's a really problem. Like like
is it going to be a blackface picture like that? Those are
Yeah.
he's not Canadian, so
yeah. I mean, I don't know what else could be out there. I mean,
I will say, regardless of like our personal feelings as leftists on the controversies, I think that like the scandals are helping him. Like I honestly do. Like it's boosting his name recognition, and it's making people like see themselves in him because they're flawed too. Politically, it might be like backfiring, just purely politically speaking. So if they release more, I don't know, unless it's really bad.
I forget who I saw it from, but I did see someone say who the release of the stuff all at once is helpful towards him because he is able to just package the old Reddit posts and the tattoo controversy into one.
That's right.
And
That's
just
a good point.
and then just address it all as, I made mistakes in my past. That's not who I am. And I've changed as a person without having to address the specifics. Again, the Reddit posts, were they a problem with some of them? Sure. But honestly, none of them were like hardcore white supremacist, neo-Nazi, far-right racism.
And the worst shit he did apologize for, which is good.
The racist ones that I could remember, maybe there was something worse, but like the one about black people tipping, obviously racist, but that's like, unfortunately, I'm not downplaying it, but that's also very like casual, stereotypical type racism. That's not like some hardcore, like you need to be really deep in the weeds to be that racist or say that. It's unfortunate people say that stuff and believe that stuff, but that's not like something so far out there that racists believe. That's actually probably something that, unfortunately, a lot of white people who might not even consider themselves to be racist has uttered at one point in their life before realizing that was wrong. Amateur PWN with a member for 1 month super chat. Anna mad she's playing the Genetti to Emma's Michaels. That's a wrestling reference. So Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels were in a tag team called the Rockers.
Oh, okay.
And there was a regular segment that the wrestler Brutus the Barber Beefcake would do called the Barber Shop, where he would bring someone to his barbershop set because his gimmick was that he was a hairstylist. He would cut people's hair and do interviews with them. And there's a famous segment where Shawn Michaels turns on his tag team partner Marty Jannetty after years of being together by just throwing him through the barbershop window. And that was when Shawn Michaels became a big star and was no longer just like a guy in a tag team. Just for the non-wrestling fans out there.
Appreciate that.
So that analogy is that Emma went on to do bigger and greater things than Anna Kasparian, who is the Marty Jannetty in this scenario. Shawn Michaels went on to become one of the greatest pro wrestlers of all time, and Marty Jannetty shows up to wrestling conventions, not all there, and does autograph signings for like $20. The bestest leftist with a $10 super chat. How much is tattoo removal? Also, they don't have lots of different types of services in Maine, especially silly rural Maine. The biggest city in Maine is like $60K. Well, I'm pretty sure it's not tattoo removal.
Thousands and thousands of dollars.
No, but you wouldn't get a tattoo like that removed because that would cost a lot like that. You would do what he just did. You get a cover up. You get it covered.
Yeah.
You go to a tattoo artist who's gonna create a design specifically to obscure the tattoo you already have.
Which is pretty easy to do. Most talented tattoo artists can do that with
Yeah.
basically any tattoo.
Jackson with a super chat. Thoughts on the NBA betting scandal? I did see that. I don't know enough. I thought it was crazy that a friggin' coach was implicated in it. That's insane. That's usually a player thing. That the coach would do that. A coach would do that too is pretty crazy, isn't it? I don't think that's happened before.
I think it's
Maybe I'm
crazy,
wrong.
but honestly, I'm unfazed by it because it pales in comparison to like the plethora of Trump scandals. Like with him, who was it that was shorting the Bitcoin market up until he announced his 100% tariffs on China, and then they made like $160 million or something. We don't even know who from the Trump administration did that. So like I'm kind of numb to scandals because Trump has broke me in that regard. So I see the NBA thing. It's like that's America.
Matt Mercy with the super chat. I only know about the skull because of the Bored Ape Yacht Club logo. Right. They didn't they do something where it looked
They both adopted the logo, and the number of teeth was also a Nazi code as well. I think it was specifically like 14 or 88 something. It was like one of the two.
If you all remember the January 6th there who had the Camp Auschwitz shirt, he had like a similar logo to the Totenkopf, and instead of like the crossbones, it was paddles. So like you've probably seen it in certain places, but just like don't remember it.
I have seen people use that skull without knowing it was the history of that skull.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that. And as someone with a very visible skull tattoo, I was very aware of.
Whoa, let me see that, Matt.
Yeah, not getting one that looked anything like it. Yeah. I hate the art of it specifically too. I hate that
It's very
art
ugly.
style. It's ugly and cartoony looking. I don't like that style of artwork to begin with. So that wouldn't be something I'd go for. I did also see though people say people were alleging that he had a second Nazi tattoo on his arm because they saw the date 1919.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I gotta
saw
say,
that too.
and I gotta say, as someone who is deep into knowing this stuff about the right and the far right and white supremacists and neo-Nazis, and I had never ever heard 1919 standing for the SS symbol. I'm aware of the different numbers. I had never heard of the 1919 one.
Yeah, but
and it wasn't a Nazi tattoo.
The big one he had, it wasn't. It's just the one that he had is inexcusable. Like that is a straight up Nazi tattoo.
The skull one, yeah. The other one was not. Tokyo Hans with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. And Tokyo Hans says, just to clarify, yes, Matt is right. The not Fetterman candidate also had a stroke and took a 180 on opinions. Who are you talking about? Digital Matt with a super chat. Please check out Karishma Manzoor, U.S. Senate candidate from New Hampshire. She is endorsed by Peace Action and has said she is trying to earn a DSA endorsement. I'll have to check her out. And that's all for me, at least for now.
Alrighty. So, Jackson sends in $10. Thank you, Jackson. Says, shouldn't the debate around Plattner be about whether or not we want an idiot making decisions about things like the nuclear arsenal? Isn't that how we get stuck with the Tulsies and Whiskey Pete's? Well, I don't think he'd be making decisions about the nuclear arsenal, but I see your point, right? Like, people, I think, are right to question judgment on things. And I think that is a sticking point for a lot of people, for sure. Grand Regent says, what would the Fettermanization of Plattner be like? Would he just go full schizo Groyper? I mean, I don't know. Like, it's hard to say. You never know what you're going to get in American politics, right? So I'm not really sure. Robe Life says, at least Plattner didn't have a screwdriver tattoo. MH.
That would have been
Thanks
see
for being a
that would have
member.
been a problem because if you're listening to Screwdriver, you know that you're in the lore. You're not a question. You can't have a screwdriver tattoo. I guess you could make the argument that oh no, I got it before they became an explicitly white supremacist band.
Donald James, thank you for being a member for 27 months. That is such a long time. Appreciate you. Chris says, in order to force our parasocial relationship to the next stage, I am now technically running for city council so that you have to have me on the show. Well, we don't bring on city council candidates usually. Sometimes we do, but we can find other ways to bolster our parasocial relationship for sure. Red Fire Blue Ice, member for 8 months. Thank you so much. Major General Wolf says, please talk about Blackwater and shipbuilding prio. I think we did address that. Tropical Ding Dong says, I think the hand wringing about getting drunk and then going and getting a skull and crossbones. Bro, every sailor I was enlisted with got dumb tattoo.
All right, again, I feel like we were beating a dead horse here. The issue,
Yeah,
is
that was older.
We
like
we
during the
believe
chat, yeah.
we believe his at least I do, his explanation of when he got the tattoo. What is questionable is that he definitely found out what it meant later on, and that he didn't do anything about it before deciding to run for office.
The Nationless American, thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. Rolando Capella says, Mike, are you watching any horror movies for Halloween? I just recently watched Sinners, and I highly recommend it. Sinners is amazing. Last week, I watched The Conjuring 4, The Last Rite, and I liked it. The ending was kind of corny and cringe. Like, they're always stupid and over the top, but I liked the... I liked it overall. I was entertained. I love haunted house movies.
K-pop Demon Hunters.
I actually did watch K-pop Demon Hunters the week before that. It was I'm not gonna lie, and I usually do not like musicals, but I also like K-pop.
I don't know if I
used to like
consider it a
K-pop.
musical, but
It was good. It was very good.
It is good, but it's also been the only thing playing in my house.
Oh,
because my daughter is obsessed.
It's the new Frozen, I hear.
It is. She is literally. She asks me when she gets out of school. She tells me how much homework she has, and explicitly to follow it up with, "Do you think I'll have time to watch K-pop Demon Hunters after?" Every day.
I love that.
Wow.
She also changed what she wanted to be for Halloween after seeing the movie. So now she's going to be Rumi for Halloween. We had to get the wig and the costume, and yes.
That's so funny. Does she like K-pop in general?
No. In fact,
okay.
In fact, she didn't want to watch K-pop Demon Hunters at first because she doesn't like scary stuff. She's only 6, and the name of the movie scared her. And it wasn't until her friends at school started talking about it that she thought, "Oh, okay, it's okay for me to watch if they watched it." And once she did, that's it. That's all. She's memorized not just the songs, but the dialogue that comes in it. Like she's obsessed.
That's funny. I bet that she would like, because some of the songs were recorded by actual like K-pop artists Twice and whatnot. She'd probably really like Twice. They're a very wholesome like K-pop group.
I'll write it down.
They do the little
Sure.
dance moves and stuff, and it's I love it. It's very fun.
I don't know anything about K-pop really. It's not my scene. Although I will say that Saja Boy's song Soda Pop is very catchy.
Yeah.
Very catchy. It might be my favorite song in the movie. It's very
All of the songs are just so good. They're just like straight up real K-pop songs. Like they're just so good. They did great. Let me see here. The next one is from Thisbe, who says, I wonder what worse dirt the opposition has on him that they're waiting to release during the general election. Maybe war crimes from his tours. Bay Photo with $10. Thank you so much. Says San Francisco Mayor Daniel Lurie said Trump called off the Fed invasion of the city. I saw that. I need to know what quid pro quo the mayor has gotten himself into, or which Silicon Valley billionaire called Trump. If I had to take a guess, I would say that they probably just blew smoke up Trump's ass, and it's temporary because Trump talked to our governor Tina Kotek, and that's when he got that quote like, "Oh, she was very very nice, and maybe I'm not seeing the same thing that I'm seeing on TV." Like he said something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but then he came and brought him anyway. So it's probably temporary, but you could be right that some Silicon Valley billionaire made that call. So I don't know. Bayphoto also says, that said, this means ICE is only going to crack down harder in Oakland and other Bay Area cities. Thanks a lot, SF. Yeah, I feel like at some point, every blue city is going to get ICE at some point. Major General Wolf says, also, please don't forget about Fatah Omar. More cover. Yeah, absolutely. I think his election is a couple weeks as well, and he just got endorsed by Ilhan Omar, so that's really exciting. I am 1000% rooting for Omar. The Robot Chicken says, are the odds of Janet Mills randomly dying in office higher than the odds of Plattner being a secret Nazi? Adriette, thank you for sending in a member chat. Howdy, cheek clapper is howdy to you. Chris says another candidate in the main race is Dara Smith Rodriguez. She was also in the military, but she's called out the genocide and is anti-oligarchy. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Tropical Ding Dong says vet and the most vehement anti-fascists I've ever known are vets. One was in Fallujah, other got IED'd in Afghanistan. I think you are out of your depth. Yeah, we talked about this a little bit in chat earlier, and I kind of already addressed this as well.
I don't have a problem with the vet part of it.
Yeah, I don't have a problem at all with the vet.
I have a
part
problem
either.
with I have a problem with the mercenary part of it.
Yeah.
There's a difference between joining the military. A lot of young people join the military. Some of them
There's poverty drafts as well. There can
Yes.
be right.
Yeah, 1000%.
Like I don't think everyone who joins is like, I want to just murder people overseas.
Yeah,
Kind of
no.
Right.
In fact, most people who join the military don't even see any real life battle on the ground or anything like that. That's not even how war is anymore. It's the Blackwater stuff is the concerning part, but also not irredeemable if he learned from that and is open about what he did and what turned him off and what happened and who he is now. I think that's again, I haven't talked about it until this very show because I think there's more that we need to know before we can be an authority on what's going on here.
And
and I think like all of us, like I personally, I don't support him. I don't endorse him. But like I've said before, if other people want to, especially people who I work with, like, even on this panel, that's like, I'm also not going to be like a spoiler towards it. Right. It's everyone can have their opinion on this topic, whether or not you agree.
That's my stance 100%. And not to pull out I have a vet friend card, but like my brothers are both vets. My dad was a vet. My buddy was a vet. He didn't see warfare. He joined like almost when he was like 30. He was my coworker at the time. That's how we met. He didn't go to war, but he still he had horrible PTSD when he got out, committed suicide a couple of years ago. So they treat these people like shit. I have no ill will towards vets because it's a very predatory system and it's the poverty draft. You don't have anything else to do. But I already, I don't want to rehash what we said, but it's just a matter of getting him to explain the shit that we have questions about. Because I agree with the point that you're making, Ding Dong, about the most vehement anti-fascists being vets. It's the same point that I made about the best advocates sometimes for queer people are former bigots, right? If you know the way that a bigot ticks, you're the best at, I think, dismantling that. So it's just a matter of this is a unique situation here, but we'll try to get Graham on the show. Kowalski says Plattner was a victim of stopgap, a silent draft by the Bush admin that prevented soldiers from retiring. I could see being disillusioned and wanting to fix an institution that is never going away. Yeah, that's a fair point as well, for sure. Star says, listen to Juliet. They know what's up with Platt. I'm not sure who that is. Is it a chatter maybe? If so, I'll try to see. I'll try to see what they said. Robe says Slee was what Trump should be, funny and unelectable. Exactly.
That's a
Ryan
good comment.
Chan. That's such a great comment. Yeah.
I want to see Trump in a beret.
Yeah. Yes. Speaking about Senate races, we need to put our support for Abdul El Sayed. Yeah, absolutely. Michigan, especially when fake McMurrow was giving praises to Israel. Yes, we absolutely have to do that. I think this probably came before we talked about McMurrow on the show. 180K Chan says, should presidential pardons be done away with, or should they be reworked so Congress can overturn the pardon? I like the latter idea because I don't want them to be done away with. I think they can be used for good. Like one example to credit Trump was him pardoning the Alice Johnson, the woman who was locked away for a drug charge. Obama pardoning Chelsea Manning. Like I want them to be available to correct injustices, but I think Congress should be able to overturn the pardons because Trump is just using it for quid pro quos, and I think that's unacceptable. Jim Talib sent a super sticker. Let me see what that is here. It is of where is it at?
I think Ghislaine has spent enough time behind bars. Let Ghislaine go.
It's a little pair lifting weights saying keep it up. Thank you, Jim, for the super sticker. Appreciate that. Ryan Chan says heard Gillibrand having talks with crypto leaders. Oh, least surprising news ever.
She's always that's who she is. She's
a
always
lobbyist now, right? I think she's a straight up lobbyist.
She's a crypto. She this is from the beginning. This isn't. I mean, maybe she's doing more now, but she has been in crypto's pockets for quite some time.
Oh yeah, that's not surprising. Sam asks thoughts on Oliver Larkin. I love Oliver Larkin. I actually brought him up on one of the episodes I did about candidates. He's challenging Jared Moskowitz, who voted with Republicans to censure to leave. He seemed progressive, and will you cover him? Yes. I talked about him in the first video where I covered Graham Plattner. I covered like a bunch of candidates. And Oliver Larkin shared out the clip of me talking about his campaign. So that's really cool. But yeah, I love Oliver Larkin. He's a great candidate. I've seen like so much really good policies. He's anti-genocide, pro-Medicare for all, just all around like really, really well-rounded candidate that is worthy of your support, I think. Grand Regent says, what do you all think about Mamdani going on Andrew Schulz? Also, Viltrumite occupation is preferable to the current political and economic system. You say that every time. I love it. I think it's fine. I think it's actually really good that he's going on these manosphere shows, and I'm encouraged to see the reception from their audience to him. It is extremely positive. I actually referenced this in my video tomorrow. I'm not opposed to like going on these shows and like invading their turf and trying to convert their audience. I actually think that that's a really important thing that the left really should be doing. So I'm all for it, especially when you're like Mamdani. I think he's so easy to listen to, right? And like the comments were about, oh, he's not using any filler like politicians. I think this is what needs to be done for sure. Grand Regent also says liberals love everyone but young men and Russians. Sam says thoughts on Stephen A. Smith saying if Dems are like Zoran, then they will have no chance on a national basis, which is ridiculous. Yeah, I agree with you, Sam. Stephen A. Smith, I think that people think that he thinks what he's talking about because he is extremely confident with everything that he says, but he does not.
He knows nothing about politics. He knows nothing about politics.
Yeah. He's clueless as fuck.
He doesn't even have like a pulse of like what the average person thinks of politics. He's clueless all around.
No, he's a multi-millionaire pundit.
Yes, he's so for sports. He's representative of anyone else who is out of touch with regular people because they make way too much money and are in a whole different universe wise what they do for a living, and they think they know, but they know nothing.
1000%. I think that he should stay in his lane. Steven, you don't see me doing commentary about sports, so you shouldn't do commentary about politics, okay? I think one thing that's clear, we shit on Chuck Schumer all the time for this, rightfully so, for the Baileys. All these rich people who like purport to speak for the working class, they have some version of the Baileys in their mind where they think like the average voter coincidentally aligns with all of their dumbass, reactionary, stupid ass views, and it's just so annoying. Shut the fuck up. If you're a multimillionaire, don't pretend like you know what it's like to be working class. If you don't have like MAGA family members, don't pretend like, oh, the Democrats don't know how to talk to these people, because you don't have to deal with these fucking people. I'm so sick of hearing from him, and I wish that he would like stop talking about politics, because everything he says is just like so insufferable, and the confidence is just, bro, you have to stop. You don't know what you're talking about. Ox says, if you need to make an AI ad to attack your opponent, it's because you couldn't get enough real people to agree with you. Great point. Laziness is being rewarded through AI, and I fucking hate it. Ryan says, is anyone worried about AI videos in future politics? You can have smears of fake AI of opponents, like making fake affairs and making it more real. I am very, very worried about that. In fact, let me plug my I want to plug an article that I wrote for Substack about an AI video that a lot of people on the left, myself included, ended up falling for, that turned out to be AI. Let me share it with you because it took me a long time.
A lot of people on the left fell for it. Like me.
I mean, like U.S. senators. Like it's so I have all the evidence here. I go through in painstaking fucking detail as to why this is AI. Check it out, because it's gonna get a lot more difficult to tell
what is it?
AI.
Wait, what video? Let me see. I didn't see what you were referring to.
It's this video right here, where there's like ICE agents crash into a woman's vehicle, and then they yank her out of the car, and then they arrest her.
Press play. I haven't even seen this one.
I don't have the actual. Let me show you. Like, this is like, you can kind of see like subtle cues where the logo floats in air for like a second. You can see her foot kind of morph and change shapes, but aside from that, it is a very like convincing video. And if you're not thinking about like whether or not this is AI, then it's gonna dupe you. Like, her foot like kind of like bends in some weird ass fucking way, and so yeah, I can show you the, let me see.
Yeah! Hit and run! Hit and run! That's a hit and run! Hit and run! Hit and run! That's a hit and run!
It's kind of long, so let me like fast forward.
Y'all bust a whole U-turn in the middle of the street! Y'all hit her! Y'all on camera! Leave her alone! She ain't even do shit! She trying to go to work! She's trying to go to work!
What the fuck?
Oh, what? Crazy shit. Y'all some crazy. Y'all got no heart, for real. No heart. No heart. She's a female. You guys hit her. How you guys gonna arrest her?
Yeah, so anyways, it turned out to be what is likely a GoFundMe scam. One of the people, like, it goes to an unlisted video, which is seemingly the full video, and the only comment that is there is somebody asking, hey, is there any further validation or anything? There are some things about this that look like AI, and as soon as that comment was made, they took away comments. They like banned people from making more comments. But
can you send that to me? Can you send me that video? I will just like drop it in the private chat.
Oh yeah. I'll just send you let me see here. Let me pull up the because yeah, I even I'm just gonna send you the article because it has the link in it, but even the address, you could tell that I think it was generated off of the address, because there's things that look similar to the video if you go on like Google Maps and look at the street view, but there's nothing that like adds up. It's like an alternate version of it. So yeah, that one got me. I was gonna talk about it, in a video, and then I always end up doing more research. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? I can't find anything about this. It was just very suspicious, and then I went down this whole rabbit hole and wrote an article about it because yeah.
Gentlemen, I'm going to sign off for the night. I love you both. I'll see you next week for the.
Take care, sir.
Chapter.
All right, Lance.
Have a good one. Okay, so Nadia says access to healthcare fools a lot of people because it's It's unimaginable that access would allow barriers they can't overcome, i.e., the neoliberal con worked. That's a really great point. Yeah. Tara says another monopoly is AWS. So many sites crashed. Yeah. Carrie says definitely voting for Abdul over Molly. Her stances are wishy-washy, and I don't trust her. A lot of my friends like her because she is charismatic. She is very charismatic. The benefit is that El Sayed is also really, really charismatic too. But yeah, she's super wishy-washy. Susan says the army tried to recruit me sight unseen when they called for my older sister on her high school graduation day, and I answered the phone. Yeah, I mean they I feel like everybody has at some point been recruited. JJ Sand says seeing right wingers freaking out on Twitter about Graham Plattner being a member of the Socialist Rifle Association is so funny. That is funny, honestly. I do like that he was part of that. That's another plus in his favor for sure. Red Fire Blue Eyes says I'm seeing more momentum in Buy Nothing movement. Oh, okay, that's good to hear. ABS says, hey Mike, do you agree with what the Tabernacle said in his video about covering Graham's tattoo? That American leftists are fascist imperialists? No, I don't agree with that. I think that American leftists we all have a biased perspective if we're Americans because we're part of like the empire and like the imperialism that our country is doing. Even if we don't want to acknowledge this, it benefits us in certain ways. Like, go back to Latin America with the banana wars and shit like that. So I don't agree that they're fascist imperialists, but there is certainly a blind spot for American leftists that other leftists around the globe don't have. And I'm definitely cognizant of that myself because it affects me too, obviously. I have that blind spot. I'm an American, right? Emil says, I'm here for a lot of reasons, but mainly it's to see Matt Zeus his hair. Also, chat rules, big ups to all the homies in here. Thank you, Emil. Really appreciate that.
Zoosh, what does that mean? But yeah, I have
don't know.
It's been a long thing of mine where I do it. Surprised you're the first to notice. Maybe I do it more now lately because my hair is so long.
I don't think I've noticed it.
Ever since I was a little kid, I always just randomly just like play with my hair.
I don't think I've ever noticed it.
Yeah.
I do the same thing with my beard. So maybe that's my zooshing, although it's not like, wavy or not wavy, but not like, I don't know. It doesn't move. It's just like solid.
Also, I saw someone in the chat say that I could do a mystery Saja Boy cosplay because my hair is so long. But it is, but I don't have the mystery hairdo. If I part it, I'm actually more like romance. Romance Sasha. Go ahead.
Okay, Autistic Goblin says, I'm the same age as Graham and dated stupid jarheads at that age. I can confirm that they are dumb as fuck. I see a lot of my own F-ups in his story. Bush GOP brainwashed us all too. None unscathed. I think that's a fair point for sure. Yeah. John says, what about the poop from Trump's jet? It was so liquidy, must have leaked. Oh, okay, I didn't get rid of this one, sorry. Let's see. Matt says, at least we admit it's a Nazi tattoo, unlike with Elon Musk. Yes, progress. Chris Corcoran says, if you asked an AI image generator to combine every bald character from Breaking Bad into one, you'd get John Fetterman. That's a horrifying thought. I don't want to see that. Matt says, Tron Ares is good in spite of Leto's involvement. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to watch that if I had to pay for it. I am so over Jared Leto. I've never liked him. I'm sick of looking at his face. I am shocked that they cast him in shit still. But yeah, I don't know. I might not be able to watch it just because I hate him so much. John says, dude, my cousin showed me Screwdriver as a teen. He also ended up liking Steve Bannon and Alex Jones, so go figure. Shit.
Well, the singer of Screwdriver had a what's the word I'm looking for? A fitting end to his life, I guess.
Oh shit.
Oh, he died in like a horrible car accident. Yeah.
The bestest leftist says, "Hey Mike, this is for Lance. Thanks for getting it to him." Well, thank you so much. Jackson says Congress has oversight duties of DOE overseas arsenal. Correct. In response to a different chat. Green for Whiskey says, my kid loves K-pop Demon Hunters as well. It's very popular. It's very, very popular. Blue X, thank you for the super sticker. It is of a rose. Appreciate that. Nope says, wait, this one might be for you.
Oh, this one is for me. So was that screwdriver one.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Nope says, I work at a library and the K-pop kids are some of the best readers. Korean language and history. It's what Japan was when I was a kid. Yeah, Korean media and art and music is obviously really, really big and popular right now. I think it's because they're doing a really good job. Like it's unique and they're killing it.
Mm-hmm. It's also don't watch like a YouTube video titled "Late Stage Capitalism of K-pop" because it might crush your soul a little bit. Because
I mean, pop music by definition though is very capitalist. You can't be a pop music fan or star. There's no like underground pop scene. I mean, it's the one of the only music genres that is meant to go mainstream. Like that's the entire purpose.
That's true. Yeah. Green for Whiskey says we've entered an era where I can't tell if my favorite political commentators are stoned or just walking off the pepper spray. Probably both. Digital Matt says NH has 1.5 million people. Our federal candidates are basically local. Any outside support is so impactful. Please check out Karishma for U.S. Senate. I will do that. Drew says, watch Velocipaster. The sequel is coming soon. Okay, I haven't seen the first one, but I'll try to remember that. Bay Photo says, I saw a sign at No Kings that you'll love. Bad Bunny is more American than Melania. Oh, that's a good one. Omega Shenron says, apparently the Bronx has Sliwa signs. Hope Zoran's people doesn't miss out on them. Also, shouts to Rachel Atwood. We met at Francesca Fiorentini show. That's really cool that you both met. Hell yeah. Love that.
Oh yeah, there's you're gonna see Sliwa signs throughout the city. I mean, I live in Queens, and there's certain areas of Queens that have Sliwa signs. I mean, the city is big, and each borough is big, and within each borough are neighborhoods made up of all different types of people. You do have your little conservative bubbles in all the boroughs, even in Brooklyn. You go down like Coney Island area. The people down in downtown Brooklyn are way more conservative than the Williamsburg hipsters you're going to see, and the people living in Greenpoint.
All right, two more from Still Alive says it seems like everyone at Majority Report are all in on Plattner. Would Mike or Lance ever consider going on their show and just talk it out? Oh yeah, of course, absolutely. We'll try to bring on Plattner to Leftist Mafia if we can get him. If he watches, then it should be pretty easy. But it'll have to be the week after next at a minimum. But we'll reach out and see because I'm open-minded, of course. And yeah,
I'm pretty sure, like from what I saw, that we're all on the same page. It's just that they are. I don't even say they. I just saw Emma's posts. I think for my personal taste, while I broadly agree with Emma, I think she's sort of brushing it aside a little too much. I think it is something he can easily overcome, and it's not the end of him, but he's got to do the work to do that. And I don't think we're there yet. I'm not saying he hasn't even tried to. I think there's still a lot more he has to do.
Yeah, I think that's a fair take. Creflo says, I have my NJ mail-in ballot, and every candidate for Gov is a Zionist, even the socialist candidate. Are you serious? My God. My YouTube recommendation is Clickbait Wasteland. That is very, very unfortunate, Creflo. I'm sorry to hear that. That's for the socialist candidate. I'd imagine they're like a shitty socialist if they are supporting Zionism, that seems antithetical because socialism, it's more than like workers owning the means of production in my mind. It's about like combating imperialism and systems that oppress people. So that's kind of crazy. We did get one for you as well, Matt. Last one here.
Not American, so I don't know how. Oh, this is Marcus 10, member for 21 months. Not American, so I don't know how bad Blackwater is. But shouldn't people get a pass because we are all like try to make a living, especially for a vet? Of course, yes. But there's nothing that. Well, there are things that are irredeemable, like if what's out there on. I don't want to say this even, make this up about someone specific. So let me use a complete hypothetical. Let's say there's a candidate running and it comes out that they're a pedophile. I'm sorry. There's no, that's you're done.
Right.
But so there are things that you can't come back from. But there are also things where you got to do a little bit more work. And I do think being a mercenary for Blackwater is something where you need to go and like you got to go and do it. If you're going to do it, you got to go and do it and have your eyes completely open to the point where like everything you knew about the world is now different. And you did not realize what was like. I'm not saying this is even his position. I'm saying for me, this would be what would need to redeem you. Like you had no idea what you were getting yourself into. You drank the Kool-Aid about what it is that you were going to do, what they say you're going to do, and it was not what that was.
Mm-hmm.
That's an example, and you're specifically using your experience to advocate against it. To me, that's a redeemable quality. That's something that you can do, and it would be good.
Yeah, I feel like we've repeated ourselves 100 times, but I just feel like it's important that we like lay it out so that way people understand, because it's relatively divisive among the left, and I just want I hope people understand the position that we're all coming from. Okay, one more from me that came in from Sam, who says, I saw the new I Know What You Did Last Summer. Not good. Okay, I didn't think it would be, so I'm glad that you confirmed. I will avoid. But that's it. Did you have anybody on Twitch that sent you anything that you wanted to shout out?
Oh, I did have a few. Watt3 RM37 0 and it looks like it's watermelon with a bunch of numbers. Subscribe with Prime, thank you. Ponderosa Pine, whatever. I could never remember how to say your username. I'm sorry. Resubscribe for 18 months at tier 1. They've been subscribed for 45 months. Thank you so much. Someone said it looks like I'm high. Anyone who watches me for a while or is familiar with me knows that I am straight edge. So I'm not high. What I will say is I am I was a little bit under the weather today. And when like most people, when you're feeling sick, you're more tired than usual, or like, usually when I'm tired, I could do a good job of like, fighting through. But when you're sick, it's harder to do that. So I did notice myself that I was coming across much more tired on the stream. I mean, my eyes right now look pretty sunken in because I'm that tired. So I'm ready to end the stream and go to bed.
Yes, same.
Who should we well, it's only like 8 p.m. over by you, isn't it?
It's 8:47, yeah.
You're gonna go to bed now?
I'm not gonna go to bed, but I'm gonna veg out and be lazy.
So who should we raid?
Why don't we raid No Comment Chick?
No comment. I was gonna say Livagar is on.
Oh, we could raid Livagar.
Someone that we've never raided before, because I don't think she usually streams when we stream.
Oh, okay, yeah. Works for me.
All right, I'm gonna click start raid.
By the way, I did turn off top chat and switched it to live chat. Somebody in the chat told me to do that. I didn't know that it did that automatically, so I will try to remember to do that each time. Remind me if I forget next time as well, because I'd rather have just live chat and not top chat.
All right. I see.
YouTube always default turns off chats and goes to top chat. It's just so annoying. But all right, are you ready to raid?
I am. You ready to? I'm gonna first. Let's say thank you for tuning in, everyone. Have a great night, and we'll see you all next week. I am hitting that raid button now.
Take care, everybody.